Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto hates his family for abandoning him. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. And check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Inside a small room that only has a small bed with study table and shelf, a boy with spiky yellow-haired, cerulean blue eyes and whiskers could be seen staring at the sight of a happy family. This boy is Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto, the eldest child of Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Namikaze Kushina. A child that they abandoned for the sake of his siblings who are the Jinchuriki of Kyubi. He released a sigh and turned his attention to a picture that made him smile as he went to pick it. It is the picture of him, not more than 10 years old, with a spiky black-haired man and onyx eyes. Shisui. He thought as he placed back the picture on his desk and looked at the clock. 5 minutes to 10. The day is the day where he will graduate from the academy. Sensing his family entering the house, Naruto left his room via the window and went to somewhere else to eat. After walking for 10 minutes, Naruto arrived at his location, Senju's house. The boy knocked the door twice before heard a soft voice saying coming. When the door was opened, Naruto smiled when he saw the retired Nidaime Hokage, who gave him a small smile and let him enter the house. The day is the day where you will graduate from the academy, right? Asked Senju Tobirama as he went to the kitchen and took out a box and made hot chocolate. Are you excited? Honestly, no. Said Naruto as Tobirama came with a tray and placed the food and drinks on the coffee table. The retired Kage opened the box, revealing vanilla cream puff that made Naruto smiled. Thanks, old man. You're welcome. Said Tobirama with his famous stoic face. Who are you hoping for to be your sensei and teammates? I don't know. Hey old man, don't you feel lonely? Tobirama was surprised at his question and replied, I do, but I am used to it. When my brother and his wife are alive, it was the happiest moment in my life. Finishing his cream puff and hot chocolate, Naruto asked, why you never marry? Tobirama sadly replied, a story for another time. Thanks for the food, old man. I gotta go now. Said Naruto as he rose up and left the house, but not before waving at Tobirama. He looked up at the sky and walked towards the academy while keeping his head lower and hands inside his pocket. His smiling face now became frown when he heard the villagers talking about him. Hey, isn't that Hokage-sama's son? Wait. For real? I thought his only son is Nawaki. He's not like his family. Antisocial, weak, and a completely disgrace. Naruto clenched his fist tightly and ignored them until he finally arrived at the academy. He entered the building and went to his class and sat at the row that described by every student as the place for the dead last and most trouble kid. Then, his siblings came and student began to surround them except for few of them. Their Chunin instructor, Yami no Iruka, entered the room and shut them up and said. Today is your graduation day and I can't deny that I am proud of all of you. Your family too proud of you as you will become a shinobi of Konoha who will protect the village with a will of fire. No matter where you go, always make your village proud of you. Naruto doesn't seems to be interested with his instructor's speech and continued to stare at the outside of the window as Iruka calling the student's name. Half an hour of waiting, he heard his name and rose up, heading to the exam room while at the same time encountered his younger sister, Mito. Good luck, dead last. Said Mito with a smirk to Naruto who ignored her and entered the examination room. Once he entered, he was met with the sight of the retired Sandaime Hokage that made him smile. His smile became frowned and his expression immediately changed to anger when he saw Yondaime Hokage. Minato who noticed his son's glare made him flinched and wondered what happened which Hiruzen noticed it but quickly shifted their attention by clearing his throat. It's been a while, Naruto-kun. Naruto replied, it is. The last time I saw you was when we celebrate my birthday and that was a year ago. Indeed. I am spending my time with Konohamaru at Yamigakure. The sunrise and sunset at there are beautiful. Said Hiruzen to Naruto. Then, now, before wasting our time. Let's make you graduate the academy. Hiruzen gave Minato a sharp nod and the blonde Hokage said, Kawarimi. Naruto Kawarimi with a chair at the corner of the room. Henge. Naruto transformed into Shisui, making Minato remembered about a report from his Anbu that Naruto always spent his time with Shisui prior to the latter's death. He then thought that it might be Shisui who taught him the art of shinobi. Bunshin. Can I do something better than that useless jutsu? Asked Naruto with annoying tone to Minato. Sure, if you have a better jutsu to show to us. Replied Minato who is interested to know about Naruto's ability. Page Bunshin no jutsu. Goof 10 clones of Naruto immediately appeared, stunning Minato completely, while Hiruzen grinned. He then dispelled the clones as Minato calmed himself and gave him his hit I-8. Congratulations Naruto. I am proud of you, son. Son. The very word that he hates to hear from Minato and Kushina. Naruto frowned and took his headband as Minato tried to ruffle his hair, like how a father do to his son when the father is proud, but Naruto slapped his hand away and left the room, ignoring Minato's shock expression. As soon as he stepped out from the academy, the first thing that Naruto decided to do is go to graveyard. He placed his hit I-8 inside the pocket of his knee-length boogie pants and walked to the direction of the graveyard, but he was stopped by someone. Kushina. The wife of Yondaime giggled and laughed when she heard the stories from their children and noticed that her eldest son is walking away from them. Naru-chan. Naruto ignored his mother Kushina's voice and continued walking, but when she stood in front of him and tried to touch him, he slapped his mother's hands. Friendly reminder, I hate physical contact, said Naruto to Kushina. To tell the truth, the red-haired lady is hurt with the action of her eldest son, but she couldn't blame him. After all, it was her fault. She is the one who decided to train Nawaki, Mito and Natsumi earlier than Naruto because they possesses the soul, yang and yin chakra of Kyubi. A decision that will cost them her son. A decision that she regret forever. I kinda hope that we can celebrate the graduation together, you know, eat ramen. Naruto interrupted Kushina, after all these years, you finally invite me to celebrate with your family? I don't need it nor I want it. Naruto ignored Kushina's tears and continued to walk to the graveyard just as Minato left the academy and noticed his wife's expression. He quickly rushed towards her and hugged her. He hates us, Minato, he hates us. Minato sadly replied, I know, but we can't give up. We have to earn his forgiveness even if that's the last thing that we will do. Kushina nodded her head and wiped away her tears before she and Minato walked to their destination with their kids. They didn't pay any attention to their children as they were busy thinking about how to fix their relationship with his son. Hey Shisui. Naruto summoned a small scroll from the mark on his left bicep and knelt down as he paid his respect. He stared at the name on the graveyard that made him sad. Uchiha Shisui. I want to tell you that I graduated from the academy today, said Naruto before he stared at the scroll. Thank you for everything, Aniki. Naruto smiled and sat down as he placed his hand on the tombstone, reminiscing the memory of him eating ramen with Shisui, unlocking his chakra and finding out his affinity. He smiled and rose up before looked at the scroll. A scroll that will only open under a circumstance. Naruto bit his thumb and smeared the blood on the scroll before performed several hand seals and opened the scroll, releasing smoke. When the smoke gone, the scroll was replaced with 4 envelopes, 2 scrolls and a bat-like shuriken that inspired Naruto. He picked up the shuriken and kept it inside his pocket before took the first letter that wrote. The night of Kyubi's attack. Let's see if this letter could explain why they will abandon their eldest son for the sake of others. Cut. Thank you for reading. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any idea, you can share it. Your idea will be credited. Classroom, Konoha's Academy. Today is the day where the graduated students will know their sensei and teammates. They were so excited and couldn't wait to kick the bad guy's ass and save the princess or whatsoever they thought. Except for Naruto. As soon as he returned from the graveyard, Naruto quickly packed his not too many stuff into his bag and left the house via the window. Luckily, the Yondaime's family was not there as they were busy celebrating their children's graduation with the legendary Sannin and Yondaime students. He went to Tobirama's house and the retired Kage was quite shocked when he told the retired Hokage that he wants to live with him. Then, the letters. There are 4 letters for him and each one of them might be linked to the person who nearly killed Shisui. The first letter that he wrote was about Shisui proud of him and telling him to never give up in his dream and don't let his hatred control him. The second letter, the night of Kyubi's attack, explained that on the night of October 10th, the Kyubi appeared in the middle of Konoha and unleashed chaos and destruction. Some reports indicated that there's someone standing on top of the Kyubi's head, while the others mentioned about the beast's eyes are similar to Sharingan. Shisui gave a lot of details about the reports, but it doesn't really important until he saw the words of the person who could only control the Kyubi was Uchiha Madara, but he's been dead for decades. The only person that related to him is his great-great-granddaughter who left Konoha 20 years ago, Uchiha Izumi. Uchiha Izumi. That name sounds familiar, but Naruto couldn't sure where he heard that name before. Was she the one who injured Shisui badly? The third and fourth letter contain money and a map, while the scrolls are jutsu that belongs to Shisui. Naruto released a heavy sigh and looked at the outside of the window. Few seconds later, Iruka entered the class and smiled at his graduated students who proud to show their hit I-8 to their instructor. Alright students, I will read out your team number, comrades and sensei. So listen out. Iruka cleared his throat and began to mention. Naruto didn't focus until he mentioned Team 7. Team 7 will be Namikaze Uzumaki Nawaki, Namikaze Uzumaki Mito and Namikaze Uzumaki Natsumi. Their sensei will be Uzumaki Namikaze Kushina and Hada Kakashi. Many students were complained about the team, some remarked that they are undefeatable and overpowered team. The Namikaze siblings couldn't hide their smug face as they will show to everyone how powerful they are. Teammate will be Inyazuka Kiba, Hyuga Hinata and Aburam Shino. Yuuhi Kurenai will be your sensei. The Jinjutsu mistress. Shisui once talked about her Jinjutsu prowess, but compares to Itachi and Shisui is like comparing the heaven and earth. Speaking about her, the students. Kiba is seriously annoying and always brag with Sasuke and Nawaki about how powerful and elite they are. Hinata. He found out that she's been stalking him for unknown period of time and seems to have interest in him. It's kinda creepy cause a cold heart girl who bitching about her pride and the pride of her clan have interest in someone like him. Shino he didn't talk too much according to Naruto. He's a quiet guy and smart. Team 9 is same as the previous year. Team 10 will be Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji. Your sensei will be Sarutobi Asuma. The new generation of Ino Shikacho led by the son of Sandaime Hokageha. Team 11 will be Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura and Sai. Your sensei will be Mitarashi Anko. Everyone's eardrums nearly destroyed when Sakura screamed at Ino about getting her crush in the same team. Sasuke didn't say anything other than being silent, while Sai just smiling. Team 12 will be Uchiha Satsuki, Kurama Yakumo and Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Your sensei will be Uchiha Obito. When everyone heard the name of Naruto, they all stared at the dead last of the academy. How did he manage to graduate from the academy? They all share the same thoughts, especially his siblings who wished he just drop out since he is nothing but a burden to their family. Your sensei will pick you up in an hour. An hour later, everyone was gone except for Team 7 and Team 12. They were patiently waiting for their sensei until Kushina arrived while pulling two Chunin, a spiky gray-haired man with mask and hit eye 8 covering his left eye and a short spiky black-haired man with wrinkles like scars all over his right side of face and hit eye 8 that too covering his left eye. I've been searching both of you for an hour and all you both did were nothing but giggling about that cheap porn book. Screamed Kushina as her hair became like tails and flaring. Oh no, oh Kushina-sama. Please forgive us. Said Kakashi with the famous anime tears. Yeah. We've been waiting for months for this special limited edition Icha. Said Obito before he received a smack to his head. Okay, that's enough. Team 7, follow me. Said Kushina to her children or students as she and Kakashi walked to their destination. Team 12. Follow me, wait, where's the other one? Obito's question made both Satsuki and Yakumo turned around and noticed that Naruto's gone. They just shrugged off and continued walking with Obito. Once the incomplete Team 12 arrived at their destination, the training ground 12, they saw Naruto leaning against a tree not too far from them. How did you know I'm going to bring you here? Asked Obito to Naruto. I have my own ways. Said Naruto before he crossed his arms on his chest and humming a song. Alright, let's get to the main business. Tell me your name, your likes and dislikes, hobbies and dreams. You can add more if you want. Said Obito to his students. Can you tell us first about yourself, sensei? Asked Yakumo to Obito. Obito replied, sure. My name is Uchiha Obito. I like to eat spicy food and sushi. I dislike people who abandon his comrades. My hobbies are training with Kakashi and spending my time at graveyard. My dream is reunite with someone that I love and lead a team that is better than my team when I was genin. I'm specialized in Jikin ninjutsu. My name is Kurama Yakumo. I like to cook with my mother and training with my father. I dislike rapist, sexist, traitor, pervert and weak people. My hobby is training with my parents. My dream is to be the greatest Jinjutsu mistress ever. I'm specialized in Jinjutsu and Iram ninjutsu. My name is Uchiha Satsuki. I like to eat tomatoes and pocky sticks as well as cat. I dislike same as Yakumo, specifically the dead last of academy. My hobbies are training with my family and cooking with my mother. My dream is to be the most powerful Uchiha in history. I am specialized in ninjutsu and shuriken jutsu. My name is Naruto. My likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams are none of your concern. I am specialized in taijutsu, kinjutsu, ninjutsu and shuriken jutsu. Obito raised his eyebrow and asked why you don't want to tell us about yourself. I don't trust all of you. We just comrades. Nothing more, nothing less. Obito didn't say anything while Yakumo rolled her eyes to show how annoying she is with him and Satsuki just scoffed. Poor kid. Shisui's death must caused him like this. Thought Obito, who promised to Shisui to make Naruto happy back. He then said, alright everyone, you all are not a genin yet. What? To be officially a genin, you all have to pass my test. The bell test. Said Obito as he revealed 2 bells to them. You have to take it from me and you only have 2 hours to finish the task. Come at me with the intention of killing me. But sensei, there are only 2 bells. Said Yakumo to Obito. The Chunin replied, because one of you will return to academy. Both Satsuki and Yakumo gasped and looked at each other before they turned their attention to Naruto and smirk. The rule is simple, come at me with everything you got. Said Obito as he cracked his knuckles and took his fighting stance. Ready. Now. Immediately Satsuki and Yakumo charged at Obito and began to assault him, while Naruto just stood at his position and analyzed them. Satsuki delivered a low sweep kick to Obito, who avoided it by jumping, giving Yakumo a chance to steal the bell, but Obito grabbed her wrist and threw her away to the tree right behind Naruto. Obito then sent Satsuki to the air by planting his foot to her chin. "You're not going to attack me?" asked Obito to Naruto. "No, because there's no need of it. I already know the real purpose of this test," said Naruto as Yakumo rose up and charged at Obito. Suiton, Tepndama. Yakumo fired a pressurized bullet of water at Obito, who counterattacked with Suiton, Sujin Heki. When the barrier went down, Obito rushed at Yakumo and punched her onto the ground. Teiten, Gakukik no Jutsu. Obito turned around and noticed a fireball coming at him. He activated his Sharingan and performed Kaiten, Banku Furanbu. Both jutsu were cancelled as Obito quickly ran at Satsuki and kicked her away. He then felt chains wrapping his body and realized that Yakumo is trapping him with a Jinjutsu. "Not bad, but this Jinjutsu will only stop me for a while," said Obito before he broke it and caught Yakumo's wrist and threw her away. Yakumo quickly recovered and dashed at Obito with Satsuki. Together they delivered flurry kick and rapid punches at Obito, who avoided it effortlessly and headbutted Yakumo before caught Satsuki's fist and slammed Yakumo's head to Satsuki's head before threw them away. But Naruto grabbed both of them and ran to the nearby forest, earning scream from both of them, who telling him to let them go. So he did by dropping them to the ground and appeared not too far from Obito. "So you decided to show me what you got?" asked Obito to Naruto. "Yeah, and I warn you, I'm not just an average boy," replied Naruto as he took his fighting stance, which made Obito raised his eyebrow. "Come at me, sensei." Obito smirked and suddenly disappeared before reappeared beside Naruto with a kick, but Naruto blocked it without even bother to see it, shocking everyone. He quickly jumped and threw several shuriken, performing Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Obito performed a leap and delivered an axe kick which Naruto dodged and threw a kunai. Obito made a mistake when he deflected the kunai, as it is a smoke grenade like kunai. "Do you think he can take the bell alone?" asked an angry Satsuki as she witnessed what happened. "As if a dead last can do it," Yakumo said before noticed that Obito is engaging Naruto. "He can't win. He will lose eventually." "I know." Everyone turned around and saw Naruto leaning against the tree behind him. They gasped and looked at the Naruto who fought Obito. "Right now, my clone is fighting him. And there's no chance that the clone or myself can win, and neither do you both. That is why I propose that we all work together as a team to take the bell." "Working with a weak guy like you?" asked Satsuki to Naruto with a smug face. "No. I agree with Satsuki. We won't work with a weak guy like you. I swear to God, you're so annoying because of your weakness," said Yakumo as she noticed that Naruto's clone avoiding Obito's attack. "Either we fail because didn't get the bell or sensei fail us. You choose." Satsuki and Yakumo didn't say anything and looked at each other. Are they really have to work together with the dead last of the academy? Looks like we have no choice. "I agree, but once I get the bell, I'll give the second bell to Satsuki. Not you, we will use you to get our personal gain." "Fair enough." Satsuki agreed with Yakumo's decision and stared at Naruto, who only nodded his head. "So what's the plan?" Once Obito managed to hit Naruto, he realized he's been fighting a clone for the entire time. He turned around and saw his student standing in front of him. 3 versus 1? That's not fair. We don't really care. All we care is kicking your ass," said Satsuki as she threw kunai at Obito. Yakumo acted next by leaping and throw shuriken at Obito, forcing him to jump, allowing Naruto to charge at him, and delivered a kick that Obito blocked, but an unexpected thing happened. Naruto's kick sent Obito flying away. The girls were gasped at how strong Naruto is and watched Obito struggling coming out from crater with broken arms that healed in several seconds. "Not bad, Naruto. Not bad." Obito smirked and dashed at Naruto, who engaged him in a fierce Taijutsu match. Obito managed to cause Naruto fall by tripping him and kicked him away. Satsuki quickly launched a roundhouse kick at Obito, but it went through his head, making her stunned before she received a hit to her face. Suiton, Tepndama. Obito quickly avoided the jet stream of water and kicked Yakumo away, but Naruto blocked it with his forearm and kicked her away. Satsuki recovered from the attack and gritted her teeth as Obito smiling at them. "Satsuki, try to attack him with your Kaiten Gakukik no Jutsu and Yakumo keep throwing shuriken and paralyze him with your Jinjutsu," said Naruto as he cracked his fist. He charged at Obito and blocked the Elder Uchiha's kick. "Kaiten, Gakukik no Jutsu." Naruto grabbed both Obito's wrists and headbutted him and performed full Nelson. To make him more inescapable, Yakumo trapped him with Jinjutsu Shibari. Naruto tightened his grip around Obito as the fireball getting near to him. "Sorry, Naruto," said Obito before he phases through Naruto and kicked him to the fireball as it exploded. Immediately, Naruto burst out from the ground and planted a kick to Obito's chin, sending him to the air. What the hell? Naruto immediately kicked Obito away and almost hit him, but missed and instead hit the boulder behind him, destroying it completely. He tried to kick Obito but missed and received a punch. Satsuki threw kunai at Obito and rushed at him, blindly attacking him. Yakumo did the same thing, and they both were punched onto the ground until Naruto tackled Obito and brutally beat him before received headbutt from him. Enough. Time's out. You all failed to take the bells. I have no choice but to send you back to the academy. All of you. Said Obito to everyone before Naruto revealed him the bells. What? What the hell? Obito looked at his belt and saw 2 pebbles tied onto it, making him confused as Naruto threw the bells to Yakumo and Satsuki. When I grabbed you in full Nelson, I secretly made a clone that hinged into 2 pebbles and Kawarimi with the bells. Besides, the purpose of the test is teamwork. Said Naruto as he turned around and looked at the sky. Good explanation. Naruto is right. Teamwork. Those who abandon the rule are considered as a trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than a trash. Said Obito to everyone, especially Satsuki and Yakumo, as he overheard earlier that they will use him to gain the bells via cage buncheon that hinge into a bird. Remember that. Congratulations, we all are officially Team 12. From tomorrow we will meet it here. 10 AM. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. We did it. We did it, Yakumo. Said Satsuki happily to Yakumo. Yakumo replied, yeah, we did. Thanks to us, we did. Hey, dead last. They noticed that Naruto is gone, making them furious and just ignored him, heading to somewhere else to celebrate their victory. As for Naruto, he went to Shisui's grave to tell him that he is officially a genin. I did it, Shisui. I wish you are here to celebrate me. Said Naruto as he stared at the sky and smiles before felt someone touched his shoulder and said. Congratulations, Naruto. I am proud of you. 2 months had passed since the bell test, and throughout those months, Obito instructed them to perform D-rank mission 3 times a day so that they can do C-rank mission as soon as possible. He also trained his students, Satsuki in her ninjutsu and tried to awaken her Sharingan through the 3rd method, training until break the limit, Yakumo in her Jinjutsu and physical training, since her body is getting weak day by day, and Naruto in Kaitenjutsu when the blonde kid interested to learn his Bankyu Furanbu. He also tried to make Satsuki and Yakumo befriend Naruto at least, while telling them how important comrade and teamwork are, but they just didn't care at all and refused to work together with a dead last of academy. Speaking of dead last of academy, turns out Naruto is pretending to be the dead last of academy to conceal his true strength. He found out when he met Tobirama, who explained everything to the Uchiha as a sign of trust. The Uchiha wished he was there to prevent Shisui's death so that at least Naruto won't become what he is right now, a boy who doesn't really want to bond with anyone and always put up his emo face and obsess with avenging Shisui's death by spending his time investigating about the incident, the attack of Kyubi and Madara's history. He also received a shocking information when Tobirama gave him a letter that wrote by Shisui, explaining that he destroyed his another eye and gave his remaining eye to Naruto. Turns out, Namika's clan is related to Uchiha clan, but no one knows, not even Minato himself. Shisui found out about this information when he was traveling to an ancient city that once belongs to the ancient humans who ruled by a king that saved the world from a calamity that fell from the heaven. Currently, Team 12 is inside the office facing Minato as Naruto gave a sleeping cat to their client, the wife of the fire daemon. Here you go. Try not to hug the cat until it ran out of air and gave it affection and attention. Said Naruto to the client as he gave her the infamous devil cat, Tora. The client thanked Naruto and hugged Tora, although this time she listened to Naruto's advice. When the client was gone, Minato smiled at Team 12 and said. Alright, I have a babysitting mission, cleaning the dogs for Minazuka clan, painting the house. Okage-sama, I think it's better for you to give us a C-rank mission to prove how strong we are. After all, you don't want Konoha to depend on Team 7, isn't it? Said Naruto in a mocking tone as he referring his siblings Minato's children as an overpowered team. Minato Kinda flinched with the way how Naruto spoke to him and calmed himself. He stared at Orochimaru, his assistant, who agreed with Naruto. What Naruto-kun just said is true. Besides, this is a gold chance to show us what can Team 12 do. Said Orochimaru to Minato, who agreed as he stared at the stoic Naruto, the excited Satsuki, the grinning Yakumo and the smiling Obito. Your mission is simple. An escort mission to Yamigakure. As soon as Minato finished his sentence, a very beautiful woman with short wavy amber black hair, violet eyes and black lips entered the room. She wore a black oversized shirt with simple black leggings and dark sandals. She also wears a pair of grey bracelet and a choker. Escort Mirai-san to Yamigakure. Obito stared at Mirai and narrowed his eyes before noticed something odd about her. He was about to say something when Mirai gave him a stern glare. Is that you? thought Obito to Mirai, who nodded her head, answering his question via telepathic ability. "Sensei, are you okay?" asked Naruto to Obito, making him snap back to his reality and nodded. Naruto didn't say anything but knew something was wrong, but he decided to let it go. "Alright then, Team 12. To make it safe, pack your bag. Enough supply for at least 2 weeks due to the journey of Yami will take us at least 3 days via the boat. Meet me at the gate in 10 minutes. After Obito finished his words, everyone left except for Naruto, who was about to leave the office due to Minato calling out his name. "Be careful, okay, son? Take my. I'm not your son." Naruto gave Minato a glare that shows him how much his son hates him before left the office and slammed the door as the kunai that Minato holding dropped to the ground. "It's okay, Minato. Don't force him. We all have made a biggest mistake that we regret for the rest of our life," said Orochimaru to Minato. "I just wish that he will look at me proudly, call me dad, spend time with me and train with me, but because of my obsession." Orochimaru corrected Minato by saying, "Our obsession. Tsunade, Jiraiya and I made a mistake when we told you about the prophecy. It's my fault, Orochimaru. The so-called genius can't even predict the consequence of pushing his son for the sake of the chosen children," said Minato as he wiped his tears. "Do you know that he's been living with Tobirama-sama for 2 months? Is that true? No wonder I never seen him in the house," said Orochimaru sadly. "I afraid that is true. Kushina and I found out when we were about to invite Naruto to the Ichiraku Ramen to celebrate the kid's graduation, but sigh." Orochimaru asked, and Kushina's reaction. "She was freaked out and she was about to go to Tobirama's house, but I told her don't because it will make the situation more worse." "Orochimaru, do you think my son will look at me and call me father one day?" asked Minato to Orochimaru. "He will. Trust me, you trust him, don't you?" "Yeah, I do." Location: Konoha's gate. Currently, Naruto is waiting for Satsuki and Yakumo while standing next to Obito, who's chatting with the client. When the client told Obito that she want to buy some candies, Naruto decided to ask him a question. "How did you get those scars?" Obito looked at Naruto and replied, "It was from the Third Great Ninja War." Obito's answer made Naruto look at him, showing that the boy wants to know more about it. "Yondaime was my sensei and my teammates were Kakashi and Rin, which you both knew because they always spent time together at sensei's house. So on the day where Kakashi was promoted as a Chunin, Minato sensei was called to protect a squad of Konoha that outgunned and outnumbers by Iwa Nin. We were tasked to destroy Kanabi Bridge that is very important to Iwa Nin. En route to Kanabi Bridge, Minato sensei split up to rescue the squad while Rin was kidnapped by enemies." Obito then continued, "I argued with Kakashi that I want to rescue Rin, but Kakashi disagreed and told me that we have to complete the mission first before rescue Rin. We then separated to complete our own task. I was almost lost my life when the enemy found me, but Kakashi saved me at the cost of his eye. I awakened my Sharingan and kill him before face another enemy and rescued Rin, but he caused the cave to collapse on us. As we running away, Kakashi was struck by the debris at his blind spot and a boulder was about to crush him, but I saved him at the cost of my body." Obito rolled up the sleeves of his shirt and revealed his scarred arm. He then said, "My entire left side of body was crushed and knowing that I'm going to die, I give my left Sharingan to Kakashi as a gift for his promotion. A squad of Iwa Nin arrive at the location and end my life by trapping me with the cave, or so they thought. As it turns out, an old man rescued me. Boo. He told me his name is Ichi. He was very old, perhaps his age is more than 100, but surprisingly he is alive and well, although he has to walk with a cane and blind. He told me he found my body near the entrance of his cave and healed my destroyed body with a technique that known as breath style. For months I was stuck at there and trained to walk and fight. He taught me several fighting style and kenjutsu, as well as the breath style. One day, he told me that he sensed my friends are in danger and revealed to me the escape place. Before he left he gave me a sword and told me that one day I will guide a child who will save the world from the greatest calamity." Naruto whispered, "The chosen child." Obito nodded his head and said, "The child of the prophecy." I quickly rushed to the location of my friends with the guide of Ichi-san's owl. When I arrive at the location, I quickly kill a Kirinin that almost kill Rin. Kakashi and Rin were surprised that I am alive and together we killed the Kirinin before they explained to me that they were returning to Konoha after having an escort mission, but a squad of Kiri Anbu ambushed them and almost killed them if not because of my arrival. But I've never seen you at Konoha before. The Uchiha archive doesn't have any much of your record," said Naruto to Obito. "Yes, because few years after that, I left Konoha and went to Yamigakure, becoming the personal Anbu of Yondaime Yamikage as a liaison between Konoha and Yami to strengthen our friendship. Then I joined Kiri's Anbu during the reign of Yondaime Mizukage," replied Obito to Naruto. "I heard about the civil war there," said Naruto to Obito. "Yes, a civil war happened between Yondaime Mizukage and the rebellion led by Terumi Mei. Turns out Yonde Mizukage was manipulated by Uchiha Izumi to kill those with Kekai Genkai. I managed to free him from the Genjutsu, and he decided to step down from becoming Mizukage, naming Mei as her predecessor, and live alone at a remote location. Naruto didn't say anything when Obito mentioned about Uchiha Izumi. Few weeks ago, he decided to search about this Uchiha Izumi at the Uchiha archive, but found nothing other than she ran away from Konoha after killing her abusive parents by cutting them into pieces. Cooked their brain and heart and flushed their cooked organs in the toilet, as well as gave the bones of her parents to her hungry dogs. A tragic incident that caused by a 6-year-old child. He even asked the Uchiha clan head, Uchiha Fugaku, and his wife Uchiha Mikoto to help with his investigation about Izumi, which they gladly help, but they too found nothing. What's wrong? Naruto looked at Obito and replied, I've been searching the information of Uchiha Izumi. One of Shisui's letters told me that on the night where Kyubi attacked the village, several reports indicated that someone is controlling the beast, and that person is Uchiha because only Uchiha capable of controlling the beast thanks to their Sharingan. Fugaku-san denies that his clan members will do it because they were saving civilians and fighting the beast too on that night. Shisui wrote that only Uchiha Madara could control the beast, but since he died decades ago, Uchiha Izumi, who is his descendant and left Konoha years before the accident, might be the one who manipulated the beast. Why would you search the information about her? Naruto replied, because she might be the one who injured Shisui until he died in my arms on my birthday and stole his eye, which Shisui destroyed immediately. Mirai came to them with a small bag that have a lot of candies, which he gave to Naruto, who accepted it politely and thanked her. Both Satsuki and Yakumo arrived at the gate with their backpack as their eyes became stars, excited for their first C-rank mission. They then began to journey to Yamigakure by heading first to the boat station that will take them several hours to get there. While traveling, Yakumo and Satsuki were excited to see the outside of the world. Naruto, who walked in front of them, just walking without giving any shit, while Obito reading his Icha, although he knew 2 people have been following them since they left the gate. Mirai just continued walking while at the same time kept staring at Naruto. Naruto suddenly stopped walking, making everyone look at him. They became more confused when he took out his kunai and looked around. What's wrong, Naruto? Asked Obito to Naruto. There are 2 people that keep following us since we left Konoha, said Naruto in serious tone as Obito instructed Yakumo and Satsuki to protect the client while he went to check the enemy. Suddenly his body was wrapped with chains and he was shredded into pieces by 2 shinobi, making Satsuki and Yakumo screamed Obito's name as the shinobi dashed towards Mirai. Naruto quickly intervened by kicking one of the enemy and grabbed the second enemy's wrist before struck his elbow with his knee and stabbed his kunai to the enemy's thigh. He then knocked him out with a punch before avoided a swing from the first enemy's sword. Die! Screamed the enemy to Naruto. Naruto shattered the blade with his own hands and punched the enemy to the ground before rapidly hit him in the face until Obito stopped him. That's enough, Naruto. I'm fine. Sensei. But I saw you Kawarimi, isn't it, at the last minute, huh? Obito smiled and nodded his head, indeed. Now these 2 enemies seems to be bandits, but they are too powerful to be abandoned. What should we do, Sensei? Asked Yakumo to Obito. Normally we will proceed to the mission, but now I'm worried about you all. If we find more enemies that are powerful like these 2, the mission will automatically become A rank and we will have to call back up. From now, let's just proceed the mission, said Obito to his students, who agreed. All of you stick together with me and guard the client with your own life. Says Mirai-san, you must be an important person for Yamigakure, right? Asked Naruto to Mirai. What makes you think like that? Asked Mirai to Naruto. The fact that the bandits just now targeting you as well as your chakra seems to be cage type, said Naruto to Mirai, who didn't say anything as she was too shocked and stared at Obito. Let's just continue the journey, said Obito to everyone. Few hours later, they finally reached the boat station via a shortcut way. Obito paid the ticket to the Yamigakure while Mirai were chatting with the captain. Yakumo and Satsuki were discussing about the possible outcomes after they encountered with the bandits earlier, while Naruto just staring at the sea with his stoic face. Mirai then noticed that the broody Naruto just staring at the sea. She excused herself and went to the child and offered him another candies that he gratefully accepted it. I noticed that you don't talk too much to your friends, said Mirai to Naruto. They're not my friends and they don't even want to befriend with me. I don't care about it at all, replied Naruto to Mirai. Why? I am the dead last of the academy. I see. Anyways, we should move by now. The ship is coming, said Mirai to Naruto, who nodded and followed her. Do you always like that? Like what? Emo? No, I'm sleepy, said Naruto to Mirai, earning a chuckle from her. Shisui. Why do you want to meet me? Naruto. Naruto gasped when he saw Shisui with broken right arm, lost left arm and right eye, with a few kunai embedded into his legs and back. He fell to the ground, but Naruto caught him. Boy Shisui. What happened? Let's go to the hospital. There's no enough of time. Listen to me please, said Shisui as he coughed up blood. I was under attack by someone while I was on my way to Konoha. This person wants my eye and succeed in taking my left eye, but I managed to destroy it. Shisui. Shisui coughed up blood again and said, that is why I want you to take my another eye, I trust you to keep it safe. Please. The crying Naruto said, but Shisui. Take it as a birthday gift from your brother. Said Shisui to Naruto, who flinched and nodded his head. He began to took the eye and placed it inside a jar filled with green liquid that Shisui summoned earlier. Now listen. My eye is the most dangerous weapon in the world. Fall into the wrong hands, you know the outcome. It is dangerous because of my Jinjutsu, Kodomatsukami. Promise me that no matter what happened don't let my eye fall into the wrong hand. Shisui ignored the pain of his broken arm and pulled Naruto's shirt and said, promise me stay away from. Who? Shisui, stay away from who? Shisui unable to finish his words as he died in Naruto's arms, causing the child to scream at the heaven as he felt his eyes burning. Shisui. Naruto immediately woke up from his slumber and looked around. He wiped his sweat away on his forehead and get off from the bed, staring at the mirror before rubbed his eyes. Knock. Knock. Naruto raised his eyebrow and opened the door slightly, thinking it must be Obito, but it was Mirai. Yes. We almost arrive. Said Mirai to Naruto. Arrive? But I thought the journey to Yamigakure will took 3 days. Said Naruto to Mirai. It is, but the captain has his own way to reduce the time of the journey. Get ready. Team 12 and their client finally arrived at the dock. They then proceeded to walk to Yamigakure, which will take them at least half an hour. As they were walking, Yakumo decided to ask Mirai a question. Mirai-san, have you been to Yamigakure? Mirai looked at the girl and smiled, yes, I've been there for several times. Can you tell us about the village? Mirai nodded her head and said, it was a very beautiful village. Founded by the Shodaime Yamikage, Kagami Mizuki. It has its own version of Hokage rock like Konoha, with each of Yamikage's face has their own unique crown. Why Yamigakure will have its own version of Hokage's rock? Asked Satsuki to Mirai. It is the sign of friendship between the Shodaime Hokage and Shodaime Yamikage. Mizuki saved the life of Senju Hashirama once. Said Mirai to Satsuki. What makes Yamikage famous are the Sleepless Village and Mountain Cyrus. Mountain Cyrus? Isn't that the place to watch the sunset? I mean Yamigakure is famous for Mountain Cyrus. Said Yakumo to Mirai. Indeed. I can talk to the Yamikage to allow all of you stay at Yamigakure for 2 days for escorting me to the village. Said Mirai to Yakumo and Satsuki, who were excited, including Obito except for Naruto. They finally arrived at the village and was greeted with the gatekeeper, a squad of Anbu and an elder woman with short white hair and light blue eyes, wearing black kimono patterned with red butterflies, black sash and a pair of sandals. It's been a while, Mirai. Said the woman to Mirai, who bowed slightly. Konoha's shinobi. They were the one who escorted me to Yami safely, and as a token I would like you to let them stay here for 2 days. Said Mirai to the elder woman, who nodded and gestured them to enter. Naruto, why are you still standing there? Asked Obito to Naruto, who stared at the sky, which he did the same thing and saw a hawk circling in the air. That's a messenger hawk from Konoha. Said Naruto to Obito as the hawk landed on the Uchiha's shoulder. There's a note tied onto its leg. Obito took the note and widened his eyes as he read it. I'm sorry Mirai-san, but my team have to leave now. A Konoha's squad was ambushed by the Chunin from Kiri, Momochi's Abusa and his allies. Said Obito as he ordered his students to grab his clothes, which they did. Be careful, Obito. Said Mirai in a concerned tone that made Naruto raise his eyebrow. What? Obito chuckled as his lone Sharingan became Mangekyo Sharingan, and the next thing that his students knew, they were sucked into a vortex, disappearing from everyone's sight. How's the kid Mizuki? Asked the elder woman to Mirai, who dropped her henge, revealing herself as the Yondaime Yamikage. Mizuki is a tall, fit woman with long wavy silverish black hair, dark purple eyes and black lips. She wears black sleeveless, form-fitting V-neck high-collared bodysuit with a pair of dark gauntlets that have 3 razor golden blade attached to each of it and a pair of black lace-up boots. In addition, she equipped a pair of dark pauldrons with dragon theme, a tantrum strapped onto her back, a kunai storage on her right thigh, and shuriken pouch attached on her right hip via utility belt. The kid. He's smart, he managed to sense my chakra even though I suppress it, mother. Said Mizuki to her mother, making the elder woman chuckled. Other than that, he's just an emo, broody and lone wolf type kid. Then he is the chosen child. The one who will save the world from the greatest calamity. Mizuki stared at her mother and said, you really believe in that ancient cheap prophecy, huh? I do. Stay safe everyone. Oh, do try to stop telling me Naruto's non-killing policy is childish because he lives in a goddamn world that full of assassin, rapist blah 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 and so on. I haven't even make the Naruto of my fiction kill enemy, so you guys will never know whether he will has the code or not. Enjoy. Uzumaki Namika's Kushina, the red hot-blooded habanero, has fought countless of enemies and the outcome will be always same, victory. But more than a decade, she stopped training to focus on her children has left her ability and skill rusty. To the point she received numerous injuries by the Nukenin of Kiri, Mamachi's Abusa, a former seven swordsman of THR Mist. It all started when Nawaki bugging Minato to give them a C-rank mission which he did, a simple escort mission, escorting their client, Tazuna, to the land of Wave. On their way to the destination, they were ambushed by the Demon Brothers where Kushina was cut down and Kakashi was decapitated, but they managed to Kawarimi to see what will her children do. Much to her disappointment, they froze, but she couldn't blame them after all, they just witnessed something cruel. Following her mother's instinct, she disarmed the bandits and forced Tazuna to tell the truth. He then explained that the land of Wave is ruled by the cruel and corrupt businessman, Gatm, who hired Mamachi's Abusa with his allies, Haku, Hashiga Kisame, Kurisuke Raiga, Mizuki Mangetsu and his brother, Sagetsu. At the request of her children who wants to be the heroes of the land of Wave, Kushina and Kakashi proceed the mission, but not before requesting backup. As they continue their journey, Team 7 was attacked by Mamachi's Abusa. At first Kakashi and her gained the upper hand until Kisame and Raiga interrupted them while Mangetsu and Sagetsu dealing with her children. Kakashi was trapped by Zabuza's Suro no Jutsu, while Kushina was heavily injured by Raiga and Kisame. And now, her children are in danger and they were going to be kidnapped by them to deliver to Gatm. She forced herself to get on her feet and tightened her grip on the handle of Crimson Death, a katana with deep crimson blade, black hilt that has the Uzumaki's crest and black handle with 3 purple gems encrusted on it. Still alive. It doesn't matter, once I kill Hada Kakashi, I'll take his eyes and sell to Kumo. For you, I will sell you to Kumo since they really want Uzumaki. Your children however aren't as lucky as you. Your daughters will be Gatm's slave while your son will be delivered to Iwa. Said Zabuza to Kushina. Over my dead body, Mamachi. Said Kushina angrily to Zabuza who nodded his head at Kisame as the swordsman grinned at Kushina. I'm going to enjoy shaving you. Said Kisame as he rushed to Kushina and slammed down Samehada at Kushina who blocked it. With his monster strength, Kisame knocked away Kushina's weapon and slashed her leg, forcing her to her knees. Any last word? Fuck you. Kisame grinned and swung his blade. Time was slow for everyone who watched in horror as Kushina closed her eyes and smiled, accepting her death. As the blade getting near to Kushina's neck, suddenly Kisame saw a kunai with paper tag appeared on his feet. Shit. He unable to do anything when the kunai exploded, releasing a bright light that stunned everyone. At that moment, Naruto cut down the water prison and saved Kakashi and Tazuna, while Obito rescued Kushina and her children. What's the plan? Asked Yakumo to Obito as she began to heal Kushina's injuries, although due to the level of her Iram ninjutsu, she couldn't heal much of the wounds. We have no choice but to run away. You must be Tazuna, right? Asked Obito to Tazuna. Yes, I am. You all must be the backup team. Replied Tazuna to Obito who nodded his head. Is there any route we can use to go to your house? Asked Obito to Tazuna. I'm afraid there's no route, sensei. Said Naruto as he pointing his finger at the road. That is our only way. And even if we manage to run away, they still will catch up. We don't want to risk his family when we arrive at his house, right? Any plan, dead last? Asked Satsuki in mocking tone to Naruto who took out a pair of gauntlets with 3 blades and armored gloves. The plan is simple. I will distract them while you guys go to Tazuna-sen's house. Said Naruto as he wore the gauntlets and gloves. That is suicide. Said Obito to Naruto. Either way, we have no choice. If you go there, I'm afraid who's going to protect the other 2 Chunin and 3 brats? Your students who doesn't even care about teamwork? Asked Naruto to Obito who didn't say anything. So if you trust me like how that old man and he trust me, then allow me to do this. Obito clenched his fist and said, alright, but make sure you come back alive. I won't forgive you if you die. Naruto nodded his head and quickly engaged the enemies as his team used this opportunity to escape. Oh? Only you? Where are the others? Asked Zabuza to Naruto before he noticed they were running away. Haku. Don't let them run away. Naruto watched Haku came out of the tree and rushed towards his team. He smirked as Haku received a powerful kick that destroyed the mask and knocked out by his clone who appeared in front of the shinobi. Now, you'll fight me. Said Naruto in serious tone to Zabuza who scoffed as his clone tied the unconscious Haku on the tree and dispelled. You against 5 of us? Either you are brave or stupid, kid. Said Zabuza to Naruto. The former Kiri Anbu stared at Naruto and he felt very familiar before he said, you must be that Namikaze's son, right? That's right, I can see the similarity. That means you just surrender your fate to me. Let's see if you can send me to Iwa. Said Naruto in mocking tone as he threw smoke bomb. That kid is good. I can't even sense his chakra as if he's gone," said Kisame to Zabuza as he looking around and preparing to kill Naruto. "Above you." The duo best friend looked above them and saw nothing before they heard a sickening sound of bones being crushed. Then, they heard another scream which they recognized as Mangetsu's voice. "Peyton, thank you for Ranbu." Both Zabuza and Kisame jumped to the air just like what Naruto wanted and charged at Zabuza, with his clone going for Kisame. Both former Anbu smirked and swung their blade, releasing a chakra wave that hit Naruto and his clones, but it was a big mistake when they both exploded, revealing themselves as Bunshin Daibakuha. The explosion caused both of them to fly away. Once the smoke is gone, Zabuza and Kisame found out a heavily injured Mangetsu and Sagetsu with unconscious Raiga, well there's no sight of Naruto. Knock. Knock. Izuna and Obito stopped talking and looked at the door as her students walked downstairs while a beautiful woman which must be Tizuna's daughter came out of her kitchen. "Wait here," said Obito as he opened the door slightly to see Naruto. "Naruto? Are you okay?" "Yeah. I'm fine," said Naruto as he entered the house and looked around. "I already took care of them all except those two swordsmen." "What did you do?" asked Obito to Naruto. "Nothing," said Naruto as he heading upstairs to get some rest, presumably in the room of Obito. A few hours later. NGH. Kushina slowly opening her eyes and saw her children staring at her with tear eyes. Immediately they hugged her and screamed Kachan in unison. Kushina hugged them and tried to remember what happened. The fight with Zabuza. Where am I? What happened after the battle? How did? I'll explain it, said Kakashi to Kushina. Kakashi explained everything to Kushina and she was so proud that her son without any sign of fear faced the Nukenin to buy some time for them to escape. She couldn't hide her smile and whispered Naru-chan. With the help of her daughters, she went downstairs and saw Obito is chatting with Tizuna while his students helping Tizuna's daughter, Tsunami, preparing for dinner. There's no sight of Naruto that made her wondering where he is. "Obito, did you see Naruto?" Kushina asked to Obito. Obito replied, "Well, if I am not mistaken, he told me that he wants to take a look at the town. The kid says he wants to know more detail about what happened in Land of Wave," added Tizuna to Kushina. Knock knock. Naruto entered the room with an angry face and immediately went to the upstairs. Everyone who looked at him saw his clothes have blood stain. Obito immediately went upstairs and entered the room as Naruto took off his dirty jacket. "What happened?" "I took care bandits that tried to rape a girl," said Naruto to Obito. Obito smiled and proud of his student's action before Naruto gave him a map. The layout of Gaten's mansion. "I'll be at downstairs in 5 minutes." 5 minutes later, everyone was at downstairs including Tsunami's child, Inari, as they were eating the dinner. Obito grabbed their attention by telling them Naruto has the map of the layout of Gaten's mansion. "How did you get that?" asked Kakashi to Naruto. "I infiltrated it. I used my clones to henge as fly and mosquitoes. Then I drew each of them. There are 4 floors, the first floor is located underground and the only way to access it is via a bunker that guarded by 2 thugs armed with katana. The second floor is the ground floor where Gaten's thugs were relaxing, playing snookers and darts and drinking. The third floor. What is it, kid?" asked Izuna as he saw Naruto's expression immediately changed into anger and disgust. "The third floor is the place where the females were kidnapped and raped by Gaten and his thugs. Most of them are teenager and child with a few of them adult. The fourth floor is Gaten's room, office, and a vault that probably contain money and other important documents," said Naruto as Obito placed the map on the table after they finished their dinner. Every area were heavily guarded, especially Gaten's room where he usually spend his time at there with his concubines. "It's hard to enter this mansion unless you are really good at stealth." "This will be easy," said Obito to Naruto. "It is, but there are dozens, possibly hundreds of the thugs guarding the mansion," explained Naruto to everyone. He was about to continue, but Inari shouted at them. "What's the point of fighting them? You know that you can't win," screamed Inari to them while Tsunami tried to calm him down. "It's useless to fight them. My hero, Kaiza, was murdered by Gaten in front of us." "And your point?" asked Naruto as his tone became serious. "I told you. You can't win. You won't." "Listen here, kid," Naruto said seriously as he glared hardly at Inari. "Be grateful for what you have. You have a mother who will comfort you every night when you have nightmares, who will kiss and hug you and tell you that she's proud of you, who will cook delicious food for you. You have a family that loves you, that cherishes you and will always be there for you." Naruto then continued, "You aren't neglected by your family for the sake of others. Your family remember your birthday. You never think of ending your life every night. You never wake up from your sleep because of the same nightmares. And we are risking our life to free your country so that you will still have your family and won't have to worry that you won't wake up the next day. So don't tell us it is useless." At this point Inari were crying and accidentally pee in his pants before he ran to his room while Naruto left the house angrily. Kushina, who was about to comfort him, was stopped by Obito. "Why are you stopping me, Obito?" "Because I don't want you to lose any chance to reconcile with him back." Kushina didn't say anything and lowered her head while Obito just stared at the door as Satsuki decided to ask him. "Sensei, what did he told Inari was just a lie, right?" Obito took a deep breath and said, "No, Satsuki. What he told to us just now are what he experiencing. Enough of this topic, we should think about how to rescue the females that were kidnapped by Gat." A beautiful young woman could be seen picking up herbs while humming. She placed the herbs in the basket and prepared to walk away, but someone caught her attention. It is Naruto, who's sleeping after training for hours last night to calm himself. The young woman immediately became angry as she secretly took out senbon and went to his side to kill her by ramming her senbon to his throat, but before she could do that, Naruto caught her wrist as he slowly opening his eyes. "What do you want?" Oh, I'm just trying to wake you up. I saw you sleeping it here and it's cold in this morning." Naruto just looked at her and nodded before he rose up and helped the beautiful woman to get up. "What are you doing it here? It's dangerous to be alone." The woman chuckled and said, "I'm here to pick up herbs for my sick siblings. Don't worry, my father and my uncle taught me basic fighting style so that I can protect myself." "I see. Well then I have to go now," said Naruto to the young woman, who smiled as he walked away, but not before calling out her name. "Haku, I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks from now." Haku dropped her basket when he found out her identity and watched him slowly disappearing from her sight. Naruto entered the house and saw Team 7, Team 12, Tazuna and Tsunami eating breakfast. "Oh hey Naruto. I met Haku." "Haku?" Obito arched his eyebrow at Naruto. "One of Zabuza's allies. Nothing happened other than I told her I'll be seeing her in 2 weeks," said Naruto to Obito. "Why 2 weeks?" asked Kushina to Naruto. Naruto replied, "It's a long story, but to make it short, I brutally beat 2 of Zabuza's allies. The injuries that they sustain will take at least 2 weeks to recover." "Are you hungry, Naruto? You must be hungry, right?" asked Tsunami to Naruto, who nodded his head and sat beside Obito to eat the breakfast. "Dad, I'm going to buy groceries later for the dinner, okay?" "Are you sure? It's kinda dangerous though," said Tazuna to his daughter, but Satsuki and Yakumo offered to help her buy instead. "Are you sure about this? Why don't you bring your sensei too?" "Nah, we'll be fine. Besides, who gonna to protect this house while there are 2 Chunin who are still not fully recover?" said Satsuki to Tazuna. "Yeah. Besides, we both will be safe. Don't worry," said Yakumo to everyone. A few hours later, Obito, Kushina, Kakashi, Naruto, Nawaki, Mito and Natsumi were at the outside of Tazuna's house to train. The Chunin were talking about affinities which made the Jinchuriki confused while Naruto mentally called them stupid. They then explained about affinities and revealed to the Jinchuriki. Kakashi have Raiten and Doten, Kushina has Suiton, and Obito has Kaiten. "Now, channel your chakra into the paper. If it splits it is wind, wet for water, wrinkles for lighting, burn to ashes for fire and dirt for earth," said Kakashi as he demonstrated to the kids. The kids then did what he demonstrated and found out their affinity. Raiten for Nawaki, Kaiten for Mito and Suiton for Natsumi. "Kakashi-sensei, how can we know if we have more than one affinity?" asked Nawaki to Kakashi, who gave him and his siblings another paper. "Channel your chakra, but this time add more chakra into the paper," said Kakashi to them, and watched they did what he told. They found out their second affinity. Nawaki possesses Doten, Mito has Futon, and Natsumi has Raiten. "What about you, Naruto?" asked Kushina to Naruto, who took the paper from Obito and revealed his affinities, which are the 5 basic nature transformation, shocking everyone. "5 sensei, is it possible for us to have 5? Asked Nawaki, who jealous at what he saw. "Normally we only have 1 or 2, with 3 being considered as rare, but people who have 5 elements are super rare. Either they born with it or they train, which take years. In Konoha, there are 3 people have 5 elements. They are Nidame-sama, Sandame-sama and Orochimaru-sama," said Obito to Nawaki. "It takes years to have 5 elements, but in Naruto's case he might have it naturally." After hearing the explanation of Obito, the Jinchuriki of Konoha felt so jealous except for Natsumi, who felt amazed at Naruto. "What is your main affinity, Naruto?" asked Kakashi to Naruto. "Kaiten," Naruto replied as he looked up at the sky. Several hours later, Tazuna's family and the rest of Konoha were patiently waiting for Yakumo and Satsuki, who had left the house since an hour ago. "What takes them so long to buy groceries?" asked an impatient and hungry Nawaki as he rubbing his belly. "I'm hungry, Dadabeo. I'll go to the town to check what's wrong with them," said Naruto as he rose up. "I want to follow you," said Natsumi to Naruto, making him raise his eyebrow at her behavior. "Please." "No," said Naruto as he left the house and went to the town. As soon as Naruto arrived at the town, he tried to sense Satsuki and Yakumo's chakra, but unable to do so. He then asked the locals, but they told him that they didn't know where they went until a thug looked at him and asked. "Hey brat, what do you want?" "Oh, I just wondering about my friends." "Have you seen them, mister?" A black-haired girl with black eyes and another girl with brown hair and orange eyes. The thug looked at Naruto and grinned, "Oh, those girls. Don't worry, they're safe with Gaten." Immediately Naruto punched the thug and dragged him to the nearby abandoned house before brutally beat him and pinned him against the floor. "Where are they?" asked Naruto with serious tone to the bleeding thugs. "Gaten's mansion, please let me go," said the thug, but all Naruto did was kicked his groin so hard that he knocked out. Naruto quickly returned to Tezuna's house and went to his room to take his equipments. Everyone who noticed him and his equipments asked what happened, to which he replied that Satsuki and Yakumo were kidnapped. "What? I'm going with you." "No sensei, it's too risky. We have two Chunin that haven't fully recovered yet. Besides, I am the only one who memorized the layout," said Naruto to Obito. "It's too dangerous, Naru-chan." "You don't call me Naru-chan. I'm not your son." "Bury it," said Naruto angrily to Kushina, which caused Obito to calm him down. "Accept the fact that you lost your son for what you did." Kushina didn't say anything and cried as Naruto left the house to rescue Satsuki and Yakumo, while Obito and Kakashi comforted her. As soon as Naruto arrived at the mansion, he decided to distract them by causing an explosion via kunai with paper tags. When some of the thugs went to check the explosion, Naruto confronted the rest of the thugs at outside. "Hey kid, what do you arg?" Naruto smashed the thug's knee and knocked him out with a kick to his head. He took a shuriken and threw at the feet of the nearby thug and punched him in the gut. Another two thugs rushed at him with machete, which he blocked with his gauntlets that have blades and shushin behind them before knocked them away with Suiten, Suriken no Jutsu. The remaining three thugs rushed at him, but he quickly dispatched them with a Bunshin Daibakuha before entered the mansion and saw dozens of Gaten's thugs preparing to attack him. "Kill that brat. Let's go. He's the only one." Naruto smirked as an explosion happened in the middle of the floor by Naruto's Bunshin Daibakuha that hinged into a fly earlier. He then perched on the wall and threw kunai with explosive tags to the thug's weapon before they all exploded, destroying their weapons simultaneously. With his gauntlet, Naruto hung one of the thug upside down via the harpoon attached by wire from the gauntlet. He jumped to the ground, brutally broke one of the thug's arm before threw him away. Two thugs came at him but knocked them away by kicking the thug that hanging upside down. A thug tried to push him, but he avoided and stomping his face several times. Naruto then quickly dispatched half of them before another thug kicked him to the ground, which he quickly recovered by breaking the thug's leg and caught two thugs' fist and simultaneously crushed it via Yang Chakra. The thug tried to pin him, but Naruto jumped and began to punch his face many times before sensed two thugs coming at him. He shushin at the last minute stomped one of their knee before pushed another thug to the wall and pinned by stabbing a kunai to his shoulder. He looked at the remaining of the thugs and brutally and effortlessly dispatched them before went to the third floor. He saw his teammates and other poor females locked up inside the cage. "Naruto!" Yakumo screamed as she felt happy to see her teammate came to rescue her. "Stay back," said Naruto everyone as his hands surrounded by light blue aura before he destroyed the door. "Satsuki, Yakumo, lead them to Tezuna's house. Tell Obito sensei to take a blue scroll from my bag and open it." Both Satsuki and Yakumo nodded their head and lead the females to Tezuna's house. As they were heading to the destination, Satsuki stopped and called out for his name. "Thanks." Naruto just looked at Satsuki and went to Gaten's personal room, leaving Satsuki to stand at there before followed the others. Once he arrived at the next floor, he saw the thugs that guarding Gaten's room were smoking and chatting. Quickly, he knocked them out and burst in the room to see Gaten was having sex with two women. Unaffected by what he saw, he coldly told the two women to leave the house as he pushed Gaten to the wall and pulled out a branding ring that took the shape of a bat. "Give me a reason why I shouldn't kill you," said Naruto to the terrifying Gaten. "And no, please. Spare my life. I will give you anything you want. Take my money, women. Anything," said Gaten to Naruto. Minato looked at Team 7 and Team 12, then he looked at the report that Obito, Kushina and Kakashi filed for him, then looked at them back before focused his attention to Zabuza and his allies. According to the report, after Team 12 arrived at the location, they ran away from Zabuza, while Naruto stayed behind to buy some time for them to escape. It is a brave action but very risky. Then, the Land of Wave was ruled by a corrupted businessman named Gaten, who publicly executed the Land of Wave's hero, Kaiza. He also kidnapped female and made the lives of the people of the land suffered for months. Tezuna, a bridge builder, led a group of his friends to finish the bridge that have been built for months that connected to the Land of Fire, but Gaten and his thugs always harassed Tezuna. And then Naruto infiltrated Gaten's mansion to memorize the layout and drew it on the map before discussed to the others, such as saving the slaves. After that, Yakumo and Satsuki were kidnapped while they were buying groceries, and Naruto rescued them alone, and in the process, he freed the slaves too, and brutally beat Gaten before tied him onto a pole in the middle of the town to let the people of the Land of Wave do what they want to him. The treasure that belongs to Gaten were given to the people of Land of Wave and Zabuza's allies. Konohinin and Zabuza's allies spent 2 days at Land of Wave to help Tazuna finish his bridge and named it the Great Naruto Bridge for his heroic deeds. Naruto also proposed Zabuza and his friends to join Konoha to clear their name and have a second chance since what they did during the Civil War of Kiri were unforgivable for Zabuza, Kisame, Raiga and Mangetsu. As he's staring at the people inside the office, he couldn't deny that he is really proud of Naruto. "Alright, Zabuza and your friends are agree to join Konoha, but give me a reason why," said Minato to Zabuza. "Honestly Hokage-sama, I'm tired of running away. There's no a day that I spend without thinking of second chance," said Zabuza to Minato before he stared at Haku. "And I don't want Haku, someone who I saw as a daughter, share the same burden as me. Normally, I will have to discuss with my predecessors and the council since there are 4 ex-members of 7 Swordsmen of the Mist wishing to join Konoha, but I let it pass. I welcome all of you to Konoha," said Minato to them, much to their happiness. "Now, what about the house?" "It's all settled," said Kisame to Minato. "We managed to take our part from Gaten's treasure to buy a house. Any suggestion of suitable place?" Minato chuckled and nodded before he explained that he will personally show them a suitable house for them. He then informed them that they will have to meet him tomorrow for shinobi rank, medical test, and what they could teach to Konohinin, to which they agreed and will explain tomorrow. Naruto released a sigh and immediately left the office, ignoring Obito who's calling out for his name. The elder Uchiha had just released a sigh and watched his student slowly disappearing from his sight. "Konoha's graveyard. How's your first mission?" "It was good. Escorting someone to Yamagakure, then we have to go to Namigakure to support Team 7. It's a long story but to make it short, there's a bridge named after me because I free the land from a corrupted businessman," said Naruto as he glanced at Tobirama who's paying his respect to Shisui. "I am proud of you." Naruto smiled when he heard that and asked, "Do you think he is proud of me?" Tobirama replied, "He is." "You still hate them, do you, your family?" Naruto stared at the sky and said, "I do. They shunned me for 8 years and if not because of you and Shisui, God knows how I am doing by now." "Why don't you forgive them?" asked Tobirama to Naruto. "Forgiving is better than hating them, Naruto. For the past 8 years, I tried to tell you to stop hating them. Forgive them for the past because what happened, happened. Forgiving them means I accept them to enter my heart. When Shisui died and told me to protect his eye, I promised to myself that I won't let anyone to enter my heart. They expect that I will accept them and forgive them after they destroyed my childhood," asked Naruto to Tobirama. "Remember how many times you want to discuss with the Yondaime because of his treatment to me, but I begged you to, don't it?" "I do," replied Tobirama sadly as the memory of a small child crying to him, begging him don't tell his family. "You was just a child back then. Sometimes we gotta run before we can walk. Right now, I don't need nor want my family or anyone to enter my heart," said Naruto to Tobirama as he stared at the picture of Shisui. "Because right now what I only want is to avenge Shisui's death. I won't stop finding out the identity of the person who injured and stole Shisui's eyes. Even if I die, my ghost will haunt that bastard and drag the soul to hell and torture for the eternity." Naruto then left the graveyard as Tobirama realized that trying to change his mindset is useless as he bitterly remarked. "So folds the chosen child." Several days later. The Uchiha Fugaku's house. Knock knock. "Obito. My god, it's been years." "It is, Mikoto-san. How are you doing?" asked Obito as he hugged the woman he saw as a mother and saw Fugaku. "Fugaku-san. It's been a while, Obito. I heard that you finally came back but you never come to us to celebrate," said Fugaku to Obito as he entered the house. "Why are you here, Obito? Is Naruto here? I've been searching him everywhere in the village but there's no sign of him. He skipped the meeting for days to be honest," said Obito as Mikoto gave him a cup of coffee. "Thanks. He's at my personal library. He said he wants to know more about Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Izumi, especially the latter," said Fugaku to Obito. "Do you think she is the one who caused Shisui's death?" asked Obito to Fugaku and Mikoto. "Honestly I don't know, but Naruto believed it is Uchiha Izumi, but he couldn't explain to us why he will believe Izumi is the one who injured Shisui and stole his eye," said Fugaku to Obito. "Luckily Shisui destroyed his eye, while the other eye's location is currently unknown." Obito bit his lips and said, "What I am going to tell to both of you, only the 3 of us know. I already told Tobirama-sama since I trust him. Promise me, you both will keep this information as a secret." They both nodded and listened to Obito, who explained that Shisui's other eye is safe and belongs to Naruto who keep it. They also found out that Mikaxzz is related to Uchiha, but the information about their relationship are lost in history and only Shisui found it out. Do he awaken his Sharingan? Asked Mikoto to Obito. Honestly I don't know, but there's a chance that he awakened his Sharingan when he watched Shisui die, although the chance for a non-pure Uchiha to awaken the Sharingan is 1 in a million. Said Obito to both of them. The 3 Uchiha went to Fugaku's personal library and saw Naruto reading a book that contained the information of Uchiha Izumi. They saw him staring at the picture of Izumi. Hey Naruto. Sensei. What are you doing here? Asked Naruto to Obito. I was just checking you. I thought you were sick because you've been skipping the meeting for several days. Said Obito to Naruto. I'm sorry, I'm just busy searching for. It's alright. I can help you if you want. You don't have to do this alone. Said Obito to Naruto. Thank you for the offer, but this is something that I have to do by myself. Said Naruto to Obito. Now, if you will please excuse me. The 3 Uchiha left the library with Obito released a sigh and looked at Mikoto and Fugaku sadly. I wish you won't obsess with finding the identity of the person who caused Shisui's death. You know what Tobirama-sama told me? Obito looked at Fugaku and Mikoto and grimly said, he told me that Naruto won't rest until he avenged Shisui's death, and even if he dies, his ghost will haunt the mysterious person and drag his or her soul to the hell to be tortured forever. Fugaku and Mikoto looked at each other before they glanced at Naruto who is busy reading the book. Few days later. Chunin exams? That's right Yakumo. Chunin exams allows you to be promoted to Chunin. Said Obito to Yakumo and Satsuki whose eyes became stars while Naruto doesn't seems to be interested. I suggest all of you to enter the exam to prove to everyone in Konoha that your team is the greatest Konoha squad in history and besides it will make me proud you know. Said Obito his students. Well, we both in. Said Satsuki to Obito. Naruto just gave Obito a sharp nod, making him and the other students happy. Well, the exam will be a month from now. So you still have some time to improve your skills. I suggested some of you to learn new stuff. Satsuki should learn Kenjutsu Iram Ninjutsu and awaken your Sharingan, Yakumo should improve more of your physical, learn about setting traps and Shuriken Jutsu, and Naruto try to learn about Jinjutsu. Said Obito to everyone now, I will create 2 clones. My first clone will help Satsuki to awaken her Sharingan, and another clone will teach Yakumo some advanced level Jinjutsu. Yakumo watched Obito summon 2 Kage Bunshin and asked, what about you sensei? I've got a special training for Naruto. Said Obito to Naruto. The special training for the dead last. PFFT. You're welcome. Naruto stared at Yakumo with stoic face as she raised her eyebrow. For saving your ass that time along with your virginity and life. Now, let's get to the business sensei. Both Obito and Naruto shushin away, leaving the clones with Satsuki and Yakumo. Before they went to separate ways, Satsuki said. You know. I'm started to think that he's not a dead last. He's just pretending to be the dead last for unknown reason and we should thank him for that night you know. Naruto, can I ask you something? Sure. When Shisui died, do you feel anything? Naruto looked at Obito as he arched his eyebrow and crossed his arms, what do you mean? I mean do you feel your eyes burning or being stabbed or something? Asked Obito to Naruto. Now when Obito asked him that kind of question, Naruto remembered he felt his eyes were burning as he screamed and hugging Shisui's lifeless body. I do. Channel your chakra into your eyes. Now. Without asking why, Naruto channeled his chakra into his eyes, resulting his once sapphirine blue eyes became crimson with 3 tomos. Obito took out a shard of mirror and let Naruto observe his eyes in the mirror. Best Sharingan? How is this possible? Namika's clan is related to Uchiha and no one knows about this information due to most of Namika's with Sharingan were murdered. Said Obito to Naruto. Why? Who knows? I only know about this because of Shisui who found this lost information when he traveled to an ancient city. Said Obito to Naruto who remembered Shisui told him before that he will have a long and secret mission. Right now, only Tobirama-sama, Fugaku-san, Mikoto-san and I know about you having Sharingan. I assume you want me to train these eyes to awaken Mangekyo Sharingan, am I right? That's right via the 3rd way, train until you break your limit. Shisui is the first one to achieve the Mangekyo Sharingan via this way. Said Obito to Naruto before he gasped when he saw Naruto's Sharingan became Mangekyo Sharingan. You already have it. It might be because I witnessed Shisui's death, but it doesn't matter, with these eyes, I'll avenge his death. Now let's start the training. Obito looked at Naruto and said with his serious face, before we start, I want to tell you something. Don't depend too much on Sharingan, it will lead you to the curse of hatred like Madara. Another side effect, it will slowly make you blind. Alright then. Let's start the training. Said Naruto as his Mangekyo Sharingan that greatly resembles Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan spinning furiously. A visibly aged Naruto wearing bat-like suit with trench coat, black scarf and sand goggles with a familiar staff on his back could be seen coming out from a bunker as he stared at the ravaged village with an Omega symbol on the ground. He looked at the scorching ground as a Joker card flying past him. Scene shifted. Now, Naruto and an army of the survival of the ravaged and terraformed world gathered at the once Konoha's academy as they waiting for another army of the survivors. When their leader arrived with a box, Naruto walked towards him. "Do you have it?" he asked with his deep voice to the man who was a Kumonin. "Yeah, I do. The last piece of chakra fruit that I managed to steal from Izumi's castle," he replied as he opened the box only for Naruto to find the inside of the box is just a note instead of the fruit. "I'm sorry." The Kumonin's army, the regime, began to surround Naruto's army, the insurgency, and aimed their weapon at the shinobi's throat as they raised their hands, including Naruto. Immediately, they all were executed, much to Naruto's dismay, who immediately launched several kunai projectiles at the Kumonin, killing him as he began a killing spree. He used the broken Sandame Hokage's staff and swung it at several regime shinobi, then knocked one of them to the ground as the remaining insurgency soldier fighting against regime soldier. Seeing one of the insurgency was murdered in front of his eyes, Naruto's blood boiled as he began to throw several kunai at regime shinobi that went through their chest and forehead as dozens of humanoid insect creatures arrived at the area and murdered the insurgencies. The regime shinobi managed to hit in the face, followed by two regimes that grabbed his arms with one of them, used the broken staff to hit Naruto's abdomen. He then stomped the regime's knee and swung the staff at the regime who's grabbing his arm. But due to his old age, he's getting tired easily and slower, making several regimes kick and punch him, but nevertheless he managed to knock them out and killed several of them before he was pinned by 5 regimes, whose punching and kicking him in the face with one of them was unfortunately died due to Naruto snap his neck before he was knocked out by a humanoid insect with wings creature who witnessed the regime's struggle to take him down. When the 50-years-old Naruto woke up, he found himself chained to the ceiling with 4 survivors. They then watched in horror as a beautiful pale-skinned woman with white long wavy hair and purple rippled eyes with 1 crimson rippled eyes and 6 tomos on forehead appeared in front of them as the regime shinobi knelt before their queen. Among those regime shinobi that kneeling before their queen were Obito, Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru and Kakashi. All of them were corrupted and have glowing purple eyes with pulsating golden veins. As she walking to them, Izumi swiftly murdered the survivors with chakra wave that coming out from her eyes. She then stared at the terrifying Naruto and smirked as she pulled the cowl, chuckling at the terrifying elder man. "If only you accept my offer, you and those pitiful humans won't be murdered," said Izumi to Naruto as she placed her hand on his chest. Hearing the heartbeat of her arch-enemy who she once confessed her love to him and offered him to rule the world alongside her, Izumi sneered at him before tore his heart out of his chest. Naruto woke up from his sleep and found an unstable and distorted blue portal of energy beside him. From it, he saw a man clad in red armor with cloak appeared as his mask opened. "Naruto, listen to me now. It is you. You are the key," screamed the man as several rotten arms with long claws grabbed his arms, burning the armor, and made him screamed. "Arg. Am I too soon?" Naruto, who's confused at what he is seeing right now, unable to say anything as the man who stared at him was horrified. "No. I'm too soon. Don't do it, Naruto. Don't merge with it. Find me, Naruto, you have to find me," the mysterious time traveler said as he was being dragged by the arms. Once again Naruto woke up from his sleep. He looked around and confused at what just happened. Was it a dream or something else? He looked at the clock and get off from the bed before went to the bathroom to wash his face. After having a nice shower, Naruto walked downstairs and saw Tobirama preparing breakfast for him while wearing a blue apron with the words of "I am the best chef in the world and kiss my food" written on it. Naruto couldn't hide his smirk and unable to deny that he's happy Tobirama wearing the apron that he gave on Tobirama's 80th birthday. "Morning, Naruto." "Morning, Jiji," said Naruto as he sat down while Tobirama arched his eyebrow. "Something happened. Do you still have the nightmare?" asked Tobirama with worry tone to the boy who he saw as his grandson and legacy. "I had a weird dream," said Naruto to Tobirama. "How weird?" "I saw myself as an older man, leading an army. We were waiting another survivors at the ruined Konoha. I was asking one of the survivors about a fruit, turns out it was a ruse and the survivors killed my army and knocked me out. When I woke up, I saw this woman with weird eyes." Again Tobirama asked, "How weird?" "Purple rippled eyes. Apparently there's another rippled eyes but looks like Sharingan. So this woman killed me and then I woke up and I saw a mysterious man in red armor warning me about something before he disappeared just like that," said Naruto to Tobirama, who didn't say anything and looked at his legacy with a stoic face, but inside he was shocked. "Rinnegan," thought Tobirama to himself as he sat down and poured the green tea to Naruto. "It's just a dream. you still have some time to train. I'm planning to figure out my summoning animal," said Naruto to Tobirama, who seems to be surprised. "If you don't mind, can you help me? I wish I can, but I don't have any summoning contract, although I can teach you few of my arsenal. But from what I heard, if you try to summon, you will be summoned to your suitable summoning animal's place instead. Try it," said Tobirama to Naruto. "I'll teach you the hand seals." After having breakfast and playing shogi match for 2 hours, Tobirama instructed Naruto the hand seals, which he did and immediately disappeared. Location: Realm of Dragons. Naruto then found himself in a location that he felt familiar as he observing the beautiful environment, such as floating waterfalls and islands with trees that have glowing green apple-like fruit. As he enjoying the view, he sensed someone's watching him. When he turned around, he saw a huge crimson dragon with golden eyes staring at him, like how a predator staring at its prey. "Who are you? Why are you here? How did you get here? Answer me or I will eat you," said the dragon to Naruto as he roared loudly, making more dragons to come to his location and surrounded Naruto. "Answer me or prepare to die." "My name is Naruto. I was trying to figure out my summoning animal since I don't have the contract or the scroll. The hand seals that my grandfather taught me brought me here." "Lies. Die." "Naga, wait." Before the red dragon or Naga could crush Naruto, a beautiful black dragon with a pair of angelic metallic gold and silver wings, 2 horns, 2 violet eyes and white glowing cracking mark across her body sniffing at Naruto, much to the latter's dismay. "His scent reminds me of someone," said the dragon to Naga. "Who, Kasturi?" Naga asked to Kasturi. "Yoriichi, the king who vanquished the greatest calamity, the first swordsman of the world and the creator of Breath of Sun style," said Kasturi to Naga. "Boy, do you have any relationship to Yoriichi?" "I don't, but my grandfather used to tell me a story of a king who saved the world from this greatest calamity," said Naruto to Kasturi. Another dragon, who has silver metallic body with black on his arms and a scar across his golden eye, wearing eye patch and have skeletal wings, asked him, "Who is this, your grandfather, human?" "Senju Tobirama." The wood dragon said, "By any chance does he has any relationship to Senju Hashirama?" "Yes, he is the younger brother of Hashirama-sama," replied Naruto to the wood dragon, who gasped while every dragons began to whisper. "It's been a while since we have a summoner. My name is Chaos and the wood dragon is Keu. You remind us of Tsujikuni Yoriichi," said the skeletal dragon to Naruto. "Before he died, he told us that one day, a child will save the world from the descendant of greatest calamity. I'm not interested with some kind of ancient prophecy. I'm here to find out what is my summoning partner, nothing more, nothing less," said Naruto to the dragons. "Very well then." Naga stabbed Naruto's bicep with his claw, causing a draconic tattoo-like mark appeared on it. "Now, write your name and sign on the contract with your blood," said Naga to Naruto as Kasturi summoned a scroll and opened it with a single tap, allowing Naruto to see the name of the summoners. From Tsujikuni Yoriichi to an Itsuki, whose name unable to read due to the language, to Namikaze Arashi and finally Senju Hashirama. Naruto bit his thumb and wrote his name. "Senju Naruto." "Senju? But you do not possess the blood of Senju," said Naga to Naruto, who smirked. "I know, but I am the apprentice of Senju Tobirama." The dragons looked at Naruto and accepted him as their new summoner. They then witnessed him disappeared from their realm, possibly heading to human realm. Or so what they thought. Once Naruto gone from the realm of dragons, he appeared at a cave that made him arched his eyebrow. He looked around and saw a scroll on the ground. Picking it up and opened it, he saw a bat design on the scroll. Upon touching it, he felt his thumb being stabbed by something sharp, and in few seconds, his name and his signature appeared on the scroll, even though he didn't write it yet. Before he could do anything, he returned back to the Senju training field and saw Tobirama. "How is it?" asked Tobirama to Naruto, and all his legacy replied was showing 2 scrolls. 2 summoning animals. "How is this possible?" "I don't know, but I'll talk to the dragons about this." "Dragon?" Naruto replied, "I'm not sure the other one, but I think it might be belongs to the bat." Knock knock. Kushina opened the door and saw her tired husband and smiled. She let him enter the house and went to the kitchen to prepare a cup of green tea for him. "What's wrong, Mina-kun, you seems to be more tired than usual," said Kushina to Minato as she served the tea to him, earning a thank you him. "Yeah, the meeting and the upcoming Chunin exams. We received letters from Suna, Yami, Kiri, Iwa, Kumo and Hashi," said Minato to Kushina. "Aim, Kusa and the new village called Odo will participate too." "Iwa, Kumo and Hashi? I don't know, Mina-kun, but I felt something's wrong with them," said Kushina to Minato. "Yeah, Tobirama-sama and Hiruzen-sama told me the same thing too. They believe that Iwa, Kumo and Hashi have something that they hide since it's been decades since they participate the Chunin exams. I fear that another great shinobi war will happen." Kushina didn't say anything and understood that Minato is afraid of another great shinobi war. Not because of his enemies but because of his children who he want to spare them from the horrifying war. She remembered how terrifying it was when she witnessed her friends were murdered in front of her eyes by her enemies. That's why she decided to get back to her prime shape after losing to Zabuza. She looked at the tired Minato and said. Mina-kun, can we train together? You know, after we have the kids, I stopped training because I want to spend my time to the family. You know, when I told you that my days of shinobi are over when I gave birth to our children. Said Kushina to Minato, who smiled. Let's begin the training tomorrow. Night later. I'm heading to sleep now. Good night, old man. Said Naruto to Tobirama, who wished him a peaceful sleep. He went to his room after having hours of training to perfect Jokabaku Futa as well as mastering several of his Suiton jutsu. As he laid on his bed, he kept thinking about the mysterious man in red armor, warning him about merging with it. What is this it? And then that mysterious woman with those eyes. He swore he knew those eyes, but unable to tell the name, and tried to remember it, but to no avail. He wondered, was it a dream? He felt like it was real. The woman's hand on his chest, the pain of his heart being torn out. And then there's an omega symbol on the ground. The flying creatures. He felt very familiar but unable to figure it out. He then fell asleep. Nightmare future. It is a suicide. Eating chakra fruit to end her reign in Kagaya and Yukina once and for all. Said the mysterious man clad in red armor with yellow lightning symbol on the chest to Naruto. Naruto replied as he stared at the picture of him smiling with Mizuki and said, 38 years of living in this hellish world, the nightmare, it has to end now. It's all my fault. Naruto placed the picture inside a box that has the Hapuri of Nidaime Hokage, along with a diamond necklace, and placed it on table as he wore his cowl and said, that is why I trust you with this backup plan. I afraid that the plan to eat the fruit will fail and all of us will be executed. So I want you to proceed with the plan B. Plan B? I want you to travel back to the past to warn me about the merge. Perhaps there's a chance for you to prevent me from the merge as well. Said the aged Dark Knight to the long black-haired man with blue eyes. Can you do it, Flash? But I never travel back to past. I am not fast enough to do it. Said Flash to the Dark Knight. B will help you. With her calculation and your cosmic treadmill, you can travel back to past to prevent this nightmare. Said the Dark Knight to Flash. Can you do it, Flash? You have my words. I will prevent this nightmare. Said Flash to the Dark Knight as they left the meeting room and went to a room with a treadmill, while a woman with long black hair and dark eyes wearing glasses could be seen inside the room. I guess this is the goodbye. Farewell, Mikhail. You are a good friend. Said the Dark Knight as the Flash went to the treadmill as the mask went down to cover his face. V then said, with my calculation that I uploaded into the treadmill, you will be able to travel back in time. You might have to run 5 times faster than you're capable of. You mean I have to break my limit? What will happen if I accidentally travel back too far? The outcome will always be same. This timeline will gone. Said V to the Flash. You, however, I don't know what will happen since you're the one who will change the past. I might be erased from the existence since I will change the past, but what if this timeline is still exist? Asked Flash to V, but Dark Knight replied it for him. It won't, because you will erase it. Godspeed, Flash. Said the Dark Knight to Flash. The day is the day, after days of training with the Dragon Clans, Obito and Tobirama. Naruto is ready now for the Chunin exams. He woke up and wore a new outfit, black turtleneck sleeveless sweater with matching Anbu pants and a pair of shinobi sandals. A pair of gauntlets with 3 razor-sharp blades, 2 pouches on his hips with his hit I-8 wrapped around his left bicep. After having a breakfast, Naruto left the house after Tobirama wished him luck in the exams. He then went to the academy and encountered his teammates who also wore a new outfit. Satsuki similar to her brother Sasuke, except that it is dark and have vambraces and a pair of fingerless gloves. Yakumo wore dark mesh armor shirt underneath of orange jacket with Kurama's crest on the back, black shorts reached above her knees and a pair of sandals. Satsuki is the first one to greet Naruto and blushed when he saw his muscular but scarred arms, while Yakumo looked away as her cheeks reddened, although Naruto noticed that she's secretly staring at his biceps. We were waiting for you while they were bitching about to enter the building, especially that girl with bun hair. Said Satsuki to Naruto as she pointing her finger at the girl which Naruto recognized as Team Guy. This is not the room because the numbers were incorrect due to the Jinjutsu. Said Yakumo to Naruto, who agreed, and together they went upstairs, but someone called Naruto. Hey, wait. You are Namikaze Uzumaki, Naruto, right? My sensei speaks highly about you and if can, I want to test your skill. Said the mini guy to Naruto, who arched his eyebrow and remembered that Obito always hang out with Guy. My name is Rock Lee. Naruto walked towards Lee and stopped in front of him as everyone in the area, including the Henge Katetsu and Izumo staring at Naruto, who took his unique fighting stance. Lee smirked and immediately charged at Naruto and swung his leg at the student of Obito's neck but found out Naruto's gone. Everyone who witnessed his speed were shocked and realized that Naruto stood behind Lee. Lee? Screamed Lee's teammate, Hyuga to Lee, who turned around and received a powerful punch to his gut and chin that sent him to the air before Naruto grabbed his ankle and slammed him to the ground. "I guess that's in it to show you how good I am," said Naruto to Lee, who groaned as he and his team went to upstairs. He then said, "Follow us to the correct room." Once they arrived at the correct room, they were greeted by a combination of killer intent from Yami, Kumo, Iwa, Hashi, Aim and Kusanin that made most of Konoha's nin shivered, except for Naruto, who replied with his own killer intent that shook the room for several seconds. He then took the nearby seat as a female Iwa nin came at him and slammed her fist to his desk. "You're that bastard Namikase's son, aren't you?" said the Iwa nin to Naruto. "My name is Kuretsuchi, you better remember that." Naruto calmly replied, "You're that old fossil-ass's granddaughter, aren't you?" "Why you?" Before Kuretsuchi could deliver a punch to Naruto, someone caught her fist. She turned around and saw a female Yami nin that greatly resembles Kagami Mizuki, except that she has short wavy silver hair and blue eyes, wearing black tank top that stopped above her navel, and over dark sport bra with leather dark pants and a pair of dark leather boots. "He's mine, Kuretsuchi," said the Yami nin to Kuretsuchi, who narrowed her eyes and left Naruto, but not before warning him that she will bring his head to her grandfather. "Kagami Mirai. Nice to meet you." "You're the sister of Kagami Mizuki, isn't it?" asked Naruto to Mirai, who nodded. "Mirai, huh, so the Mirai that my team escort back then was your sister Mizuki. You're smart, Namikaze. I'm waiting to fight you," said Mirai before she left Naruto. "What's wrong with her?" asked Satsuki to Naruto, who didn't say anything. "Well, we have Kumo nin, Iwa nin and even Hashi nin. As far as I know, Hashi never once send their representatives to any Chunin exams that hosted by Konoha or Yami. We also have Kiri and Suna as well as Aim, Kusa and Odo nin." Everyone turned around and saw a Konoha nin with ash gray hair that tied into ponytail, dark eyes, and wore glasses who interrupted Yakumo. "My name is Ikushi Kabuto," said the genin to Team 12 as he took out his cards. "And I can give you any information of the participants who might be your opponent. You must be someone who is strong," said Shikamaru to Kabuto, who chuckled. "Ain't sure about that. This is my 7th time of participating the exam. It's super hard, you know," said Kabuto to Shikamaru as more Konoha nin came to him. "7th time? Damn, I kinda regret didn't train very hard," said Kiba as his pet, Akamaru, barked at him. "Can you tell us the powerful participants so that we can watch out?" said Sasuke to Kabuto. "There are 8 opponents that you better watch out. The first one is Nai Yujito of Kumagakure, the adopted daughter of Yondaime Reikage. She is known for Blue Hellfire for her unique blue-colored and far more powerful and destructive. Also, her Raiten is unique due to the color being red," said Kabuto as he pointing his finger at a female Kumo nin. "Yujito has long, straight, blonde hair bound with taut bandages and dark eyes. She wears black tank top and black pants that have a design similar to clouds on it, purple fingerless gloves with dark metal plates on behind, and a chain of blue beads wound around her left hand. She also wore the standard Kumagakure forehead protector, white sandals and a kunai holster, which was strapped to her right thigh. Yujito also wore bandages around her forearms, as well as a red belt around her waist. In addition, blackish-blue cat tattoo-like mark could be seen on her right bicep. I suggest pray to the gods that any of you won't fight her because she's a tough opponent. Also, a beast within her makes her 3 times more powerful than any of you," said Kabuto to everyone, which made them confused except for Naruto. "A Jinchuriki, why will Kumo send a Jinchuriki to the Chunin exams?" thought Naruto as he crossed his arms. The next opponent is Gaara from Sunagakure, the son of the Yondaime Kazekage. He has the ability to manipulate sand. Rumors that he complete all his mission without a scratch. He also has a beast," said Kabuto as he introduced them to a red-haired Sunanin with tattoo on forehead. Gaara wears a black bodysuit with an open neck, t-shirt-like sleeves, and almost full-length leggings. With this, he wears a white cloth over his right shoulder and the left side of his hips. He has a wide leather band from his left shoulder to his right hip with which he carries his sand gourd and around which he wraps his forehead protector. Another Jinchuriki. "Something's wrong, I gotta inform to Jiji later," thought Naruto as he noticed Kuretsuchi kept glaring at him while talking to her teammates. Next we have Kuretsuchi, the granddaughter of Sandaime Tsuchikage. She could use Imton, and also she is a quite dangerous opponent due to her taijutsu style, said Kabuto to everyone. Menma, who getting annoyed after hearing the 3 opponent being related to their cage, said, "Come on man, is there anyone who doesn't related to their cage? Hey, am I one of those dangerous opponent?" "No," said Kabuto casually to Menma, which made everyone except Naruto laughed at him. Our next opponent is Arachi, a female genin from the Hashigakure who is the adoptive daughter of the Yondaime Hashigaki. She is very fast and if you're not really good at taijutsu, do not engage her in hand-to-hand combat. We have Hayami Nisa, the daughter of the Yondaime Hashigaki. Her Kekai Genkai allows her to manipulate light, a keratin. She also really good at Kinjutsu. Then we have Mikhail. This one is not related to the cage, but he is the student of Yondaime Yamakage, well you can say that he has some sort of relationship with her. Anyways, his Kekai Genkai allows him to move at the speed of lightning. He's super fast so if you face him, then you better surrender. Kagami Mirai. The younger sister of Kagami Mizuki. She can turn her body into steel. Combined with her taijutsu, the assassin fist style, you will lay on the bed for months due to broken bones. Last but not least, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. The son of Yondaime Hokage and red hot-blooded habanero. This guy that stand among you is really powerful and in fact the most powerful genin. His Kinjutsu, Taijutsu, Ninjutsu and Shuriken Jutsu are dangerous. So be careful. Ino with her smug face said, PFFT, as if the dead last could really beat all of us. He barely passed the exams at academy. Ino's comment made Shikamaru elbowed her stomach as he gave her a stern glare and said, you should know that if you're good at deceiving someone, then you're really a dangerous person. Toji spoke, I agree. I believe that Naruto is hiding his true strength for this exam. Am I right? Naruto just shrugged off his shoulder before looked at Kabuto and said, says Kabuto-san, how you do get my information? Oh no need to be so formal with this card. Said Kabuto as he revealed a blank card. And my eyes, I can gain the information of anyone that I need. Everyone amazed at what they heard except for Naruto who knew he was lying since he is born with the ability to sense someone's lying. He then decided to ask more. I never seen you before. The smiling Kabuto replied, Hokage-sama always assigned the mission that requires my team to leave Konoha for a long time. Kabuto-san, can you tell us about Odonin? Asked Sakura to Kabuto. Oh, those shinobi. They're not bad, you better watch out. I can't give more information since for unknown reason, the card didn't give me any information other than their village is newly created. Said Kabuto to Sakura. Naruto purposely mocked them by saying, pretty sure they are weak as hell. Look at that mummy guy, he should stay dead at his coffin in the museum so that. The Odonin that looks like mummy immediately charged at Naruto and delivered an unseen roundhouse kick that Naruto blocked. He then punched the Odonin before saw a spiky-haired Odonin extending his arms forward, causing Naruto to quickly shush into his front to grab his wrists and twist it as hard as he could while glaring at the female Odonin. Alright maggot, sit down. Boy, you wanna get disqualified before the test begin? Asked a proctor that Naruto recognized as Marino Ibiki, an acquaintance of Uchiha Shisui. No sir, just warming up. Said Naruto as he let go off the Odonin's wrists and walked back to his seat. Ibiki then spoke, alright maggots. My name is Marino Ibiki and I'm your proctor for the first phase of Chunin exams, the writing test. You will be given 30 minutes to answer 40 questions. The final 10 question will be given after 30 minutes has passed. Now begin your test. As everyone picked up their pencil that were given by Ibiki's assistants, they looked at the questions as Ibiki spoke, one more thing, if any of you were caught cheating, you will be disqualified. You want to cheat? Go on but don't let my assistants or me see it. So the countdown of 30 minutes began as the participants answering the question. Some were cheated without being caught such as Gaara who's using his sand to create an eye, the Uchiha using their Sharingan to copy the participant's hand's movement, and so on. A few participants were unlucky due to Ibiki and his assistants caught them cheating. After 30 minutes had passed, Ibiki ordered the participants to stop writing. He then said, before I give you the final questions, I will explain the rules. If you decided to take it and answer incorrectly, you will be prohibited from taking the Chunin exams forever. But if you don't want to take the risk, you can leave, but if you leave, your teammates will be automatically disqualified. The female Sunanin with blonde hair screamed, what, you can't do that. Her words caused Ibiki to unleash his terrifying killer intent as he slammed his fist to the table, cracking it and said, I'm your proctor and I'm the one who decided to make the rules. Ibiki gazed at everyone who were afraid of his killer intent except for Naruto which made him impressed and decided to test him more. He went to Naruto's side and grabbed his arm, which made Naruto look at him. You're a brave kid, are you sure you want to take the questions? Asked Ibiki as he increased more his killer intent to Naruto who is unaffected. Nice killer intent. I felt something much worse than this. Said Naruto to Ibiki who raised his eyebrow. And I am sure to take the questions. Alright then, all of you are pass. Numerous reactions Ibiki received when he simply allowed them to pass. Let me explain, the final 10 questions is a take it or not take it decision. Obviously these were painful choices. Those who choose latter fail along with their teammates. Those who choose to take it could lose the chance to ever take the test again, a true leap of faith. How about these two choices, say you guys become Chunins. Your mission is to steal a secret document. The amount of ninjas, their abilities and others are unknown to you, and of course there could be traps set all around you. Now. Do you accept or not? Because you don't want to die, because your comrades can be hurt, can you avoid the dangerous mission? The answer is no. In times, information is more important than life, and on missions and the battlefield, people risk their lives to get their hand on. If the enemy or third person notices you, there is no guarantee that the information will be accurate. Important information in your hands can be a powerful weapon for your comrades and for the village. No matter what the danger, there are missions you can't avoid. The ability to be courageous and survive any hardship, this is an ability needed to become a Chunin. Those who can't put their destinies on the line, who cling to the uncertain future of theirs always next year and then walk away from their chance, those piece of trash who can only make such cowardly choices, don't have the right to become a Chunin. Now congratulations. Before Ibiki could say more, a giant iron ball crashed into the room, followed up by a flying sword that Naruto recognized with a banner saying the one and only sexy Mitarashi Anko and the baddest Mamachi's Zabuza. Zabuza and a female with purple hair wearing trench coat, which is Anko, soon appeared and saw the participants. Seriously? These kids passed. Either you are getting rusty Ibiki or they are really better than what we expected, said Anko to Ibiki. I'm sure one of them is the best, said Ibiki to Anko before he stared at Naruto, which made Anko smirked while Zabuza laughed. Why are you laughing? Asked Anko to Zabuza. In case if you want to know, that kid that Ibiki talked about fearlessly faced me and kiss him after knocking out my friends as his team running away, said Zabuza, which made everyone amazed and wondered who is it. Find out the identity of the kid by yourself. Now, follow us. The participants followed their next proctors as Ibiki and his assistants went to collect the papers. When Ibiki went to collect Naruto's paper, he found out that Naruto didn't answer a single question, which made him chuckle for passing someone who didn't answer anything. When he turned the paper around, he saw Naruto's message. Bikushi Kabuto is a spy. Keep an eye on the red-haired Sunanin and the blonde-haired Kumonin, they both are Jinchuriki. Izumo, go grab me an Anbu, now. Now, before we begin the test. Sign this paper because Konoha won't be responsible for your death, said Anko as her assistants giving papers to the participants who filled it. Now this test is the survival test. You and your team have to stay in the forest of death for 3 days with a scroll that you must keep it safe. You have 2 objectives, find another scroll and stay at the forest for 3 days, said Zabuza to everyone. Anko then spoke, you will be given either heaven or earth scroll. If you get heaven, then you have to find steel earth from your opponent. After 3 days, head towards the tower located at the middle of the forest. Now any questions? How are we going to shower? Is there any food? How are we going to sleep? Anko and Zabuza with their assistants getting assaulted more and more with ridiculous questions. The ex-Kiri Anbu immediately screamed. Listen up, brat. There are caves for you to use as a shelter, or you can make it by yourself with your jutsu. There are rivers and streams for you to shower, and you can even use your jutsu. There are wild animals and plants for you to eat. Any more stupid questions? The poor Kusanin raised her hand and asked, yeah, why are you so angry, old man? Why you? Zabuza's eyebrow arched as everyone laughed while Naruto focused his attention at Kabuto. Take your time to discuss. So what's the plan? Asked Satsuki to Naruto. We stick together. Yakumo, hold the scroll. I'll go in front, Satsuki in the middle and you behind. Use your Jinjutsu to conceal our presence while Satsuki, use your Sharingan to detect enemy, said Naruto as he passed the earth scroll that given to him by Anko to Yakumo. If we get separate, throw this kunai and stay at your position. Naruto gave a kunai with a marking of Haration to Yakumo and Satsuki. What's this? Asked Yakumo to Naruto. It's Haration, the jutsu that Nidame Jiji and Yandame Hokage use to make them teleport anywhere they want as long as the mark is present. In my case, however, I can't teleport but rather sense your chakra. Why you can't teleport? Asked Satsuki to Naruto. I'm still learning it. A month is not enough. It took Yandame 5 years and Nidame 8 years to master it. Enough of story, let's go, said Naruto to everyone as they heard buzzer and followed the assistant to the gate. When they heard the next buzzer, the gates were opened and immediately everyone entered the forest, slowly disappearing from the sight of Anko, Zabuza and others. The female wearing tattered hooded cloak could be seen standing on the rooftop of a building as she gazing at the Hokage rock with a smirk. Her onyx eyes became crimson with 3 tomos as she said. Soon, Konoha will be ashes. As Team 12 running to their own destination, suddenly Naruto stopped running and raised his hand, making Satsuki and Yakumo prepare for the worst. Enemies TW. Before Naruto could finish his sentence, he was kicked away by Yujito, shocking Satsuki and Yakumo as Kuretsuchi appeared and punched them away. Remember the deal, Kuretsuchi, said Yujito to Kuretsuchi, who nodded her head. Flashback. Half an hour ago. You're Nai Yujito, isn't it? Asked Kuretsuchi to Yujito, who's talking to her teammates, Amoy and Carrie. Yes. My name is Kuretsuchi and I need your help. Said Kuretsuchi to Yujito, who raised her eyebrow. You and I have the same task that was assigned by our cage. The Namikaze family. Said Yujito to Kuretsuchi before she stared at her teammates, Akatsuchi and Shiratsuchi. Why do you need my help? My main target, Namikaze Naruto, is far more dangerous than his siblings according to Kabuto. Said Kuretsuchi to Yujito. According to Kabuto, he fought against 4X swordsmen of the mist. Also, the Yami nin keeping an eye on him. Those Kiri nin. That means, he is really dangerous. Said Yujito to Kuretsuchi. That's a bit strange if the Yami nin wants him too. Yes, and besides, I know your Jinchuriki and your secret task that your father tells you. Don't worry, my grandfather tell the same thing too, but I need your help in order for me to bring that bastard's head to grandpa. Said Kuretsuchi to Yujito. Fine, as long as you stay away from his sisters. Present. Quickly recovered from the kick that nearly shattered his jaw, Naruto watched Kuretsuchi appeared in front of him with her smug face. She quickly covered her arm with rock and delivered a fast jab at Naruto, who dodged it as he threw several kunai at her. Kuretsuchi made a mistake when she deflected those kunai as they were flashbang grenade-like kunai, temporarily blinding her, allowing him to rush to his teammates, but soon he found himself being surrounded by Akatsuchi, Kuretsuchi, Carrie and Amoy. There's no way to run, Namikaze. Said Kuretsuchi to Naruto as Yujito dragging a half-dead Yakumo and Satsuki before threw them to the nearby trees. Naruto looked at his enemies and took out a bat-like shuriken before threw it to the ground, releasing a bright light as he dashed at Shiratsuchi and slammed his foot to his kneecap before uppercut him and flipped backward twice to avoid Carrie and Amoy's 10. Raiden, Jinraisen. Naruto managed to avoid the lightning projectile that threw by Amoy. He quickly threw another bat shuriken at Amoy's palm and knocked him out with a kick. Amoy. Damn you, Namikaze. Eat this. Raiden, San Boruto. Naruto managed to avoid Carrie's attack and shot his fist to her gut, knocking her out. Suiton, Miserapa. Kuretsuchi launched a jet of water that took the shape of a trumpet at Naruto, who defended himself via a barrier of rock. The granddaughter of Kuretsuchi then stared at Akatsuchi and nodded as they rushed at Naruto. Akatsuchi delivered a jab at Naruto, who blocked it, allowing Kuretsuchi to appear behind him and kicked him away. Naruto quickly recovered but received a powerful enhanced kick to his jaw by Yujito. Doten, Dirixum. Naruto managed to avoid two spikes that protruded from the ground and threw a kunai attached by chain at a tree to avoid another water trumpet by Kuretsuchi. He took out 6 bat shuriken and threw them at Akatsuchi, who avoided it. When Akatsuchi avoided it, Naruto appeared behind him and slammed him to the ground before knocked him out for good with a powerful stomp. Akatsuchi. Yujito decided to attack Naruto via slashing at him with her long and sharp nails. At first Naruto able to dodge the attack, but soon he found out that her attack is getting faster to the point he received several cuts at his chest that made him hiss in pain. Nezumi Kadama. Yujito spat flaming mouses at Naruto, who avoided them but realized that their target is not him but rather the unconscious Yakumo and Satsuki. He tried to save them but found himself trapped by a thick cloud of ash. There's no way to run, Namikaze. This is the end. Screamed Kuretsuchi as she took out a kunai from her pouch and jammed the blade at Naruto's head. But suddenly everything became so slow, and at that very moment, Naruto managed to see someone with blue lightning trailing from his body. That boy with spiky black hair and dark eyes saved Yakumo and Satsuki before dashed towards Naruto and punched Kuretsuchi and Yujito, sending them flying away. He wore red unzipped short-sleeved jacket over white shirt, red knee-length pants and black boots. The jacket has golden zipper and a blue lightning symbol on his shirt. So, you must be that Naruto guy, huh? Asked the boy, who is from Yami, judging by the skeleton shape of Hitai that he wore around his head. Don't move. Naruto watched the Yami nin raised his vibrating hand to destroy the thick cloud of ash that binding Naruto. My name is Mikaxzz, but you can just call me Mika. Said Mikaxzz to Naruto, who looked at him with a confused face. What's wrong? I clearly saw you saved my friends for a second and then you suddenly appeared next to me and saved me. Said Naruto to Mikaxzz, who widened his eyes. Wait, you actually can see me running? Running? Mikaxzz demonstrated his power, which is super speed, by running around Naruto so fast that the apprentice of Senju Tobirama saw him as a blur with blue lightning. He then stopped in front of Naruto with a smirk. So you're fast. Thanks for the compliment, but you actually saw me. For a second, and thanks for saving me. I got this. Said Naruto as Yujito rose up as her limbs engulfed in blue flames while her eyes looks like a cat. She is definitely a Jinchuriki judging by her look, and according to Hashirama-sama's book of Jinchuriki, she is Jinchuriki of Nibi. Now you piss me off, Namikaze. Yujito quickly launched towards Naruto and grabbed his face before slammed him to the ground. She then produced a flaming tail and hit Mikaxzz with it, sending him flying away. Naruto wrapped both of his legs around Yujito's neck, causing her to get up to free herself before threw Naruto away, who landed safely on a tree and threw several bat shuriken at Yujito, but she dodged it with her amazing speed. According to the book, a Jinchuriki can be easily controlled by Mangekyo Sharingan and Hashirama-sama's Jutsu, Hokage Shiki Jijin Jutsu Kakuen Nitten Sushu. Thought Naruto before he remarked that the jutsu's name is ridiculously long and complicated like Minato. Time to use my trump card. Yujito dashed towards Naruto and grabbed his neck before squeezed it, while her tail wrapped his wrists and slowly crushing them. She grinned madly as she tightening her grip around Naruto's neck and wrists before screamed. Open your eyes. Open your fucking eyes or I will tear your eyelids. Naruto immediately opened his eyes, revealing the one sapphirine blue eyes became a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan, that exactly same as Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan. His Mangekyo Sharingan spinning furiously causing Yujito to flinch as she feeling dizzy and sleepy. At that moment, Nibi screamed at her, "You gotta be strong Yujito." Resisted. Yujito desperately tried to stay awake but unable to do so and slowly closing her eyes, causing her to let go off Naruto's neck and wrists. Eventually, she fell asleep as Mikaxzz arrived with Mirai and a female with short wavy purple hair and light blue eyes, Razi. Razi wears dark crop jacket over white V-neck shirt with black lion pendant and a pair of black Anbu pants that reached above her knees, black leg warmers and a pair of shinobi sandals. "You okay, Naruto?" asked Mikaxzz to Naruto who nodded his head as he deactivated his Mangekyo Sharingan and rose up with his help. "Looks like you're safe. For now," said Mirai to Naruto who ignored her as he went to check his unconscious teammates. "You should thank me for saving your team's asses." "Thank you Mikaxzz," said Naruto stoically to Mikaxzz who chuckled while Mirai rolled her eyes. "Why don't we stick together? A temporary truce. We've got 3 days left," said Razi to Naruto. "I've got this. Besides, sticking together will reveal each one of us's abilities," said Naruto as he hefted the unconscious Satsuki and Yakumo to his shoulders. "The next time we meet, we'll be enemy. Get yourself ready." Naruto then turned around and prepared to shushin, but he stopped and looked at Mikaxzz. "Mika, have we met before?" Mikaxzz raised his eyebrow, confused at Naruto's question as he said, "Oh no. Find me Naruto, you have to find me." Naruto snapped back to the reality as he stared at Mikaxzz, who looked similar to the mysterious time traveler before Shushin, disappearing from their sight. Few hours later. NGH. Satsuki slowly opening her eyes and looked around, finding herself inside a cave. She turned around and saw Yakumo which made her confused and tried to remember what happened. "Naruto. Naruto." Satsuki immediately bolted up but she was gently pushed by someone. She turned to her right side and saw Naruto sitting beside a campfire. "Naruto, what happened? Both of you were knocked out by the Kumonin and have several deep cuts on your body. I've no choice but to heal it with my limited knowledge of Irem ninjutsu," said Naruto as he gave Satsuki a cup of water. Satsuki blushed when she heard that and immediately realized that her top cloth is gone, replaced by bandages that wrapping her torso. Her cheek became more red and immediately she wrapped herself. "Don't worry, I don't take a look at your body," said Naruto stoically as he gave her a plate of fish. Soon, Yakumo woke up and found that her top cloth is gone and replaced by bandages just like Satsuki, making her freaked out, but Satsuki calmed her down and explained to her everything that Naruto had explained. "So you took down the Kumonin?" asked Yakumo. "Yes," replied Naruto. "And you save us?" "Yes." "And you heal our wounds?" "Yes." Yakumo looked at Naruto and unable to believe that the boy that she hates so much due to being a dead last of the academy, saved her once again. She looked down and said, "Thank you." Naruto didn't say anything nor choose to say anything since it's not necessary. He rose up and left the cave to take a look at the barrier that he had set up, rendering his team and the cave invisible. There were also hidden and dangerous traps if anyone break the barrier. "Naruto, do you have any spare clothes?" asked Satsuki to Naruto who took out a scroll and opened it, causing a plume of smoke to come out. When the smoke was gone, a black jacket with white high collar, blue highlight and a Chiha clan crest on the vest, and a crimson jacket with black hood that have yellow lightning design appeared. "Uchiha crest. Your mother gave it to me for my birthday. You can take it if you want, she gave me a lot of clothes," said Naruto to Satsuki who nodded and wore it while Yakumo took the crimson jacket. He then took out a complete set of Heaven and Earth scroll and gave it to Yakumo. "Keep it." "Naruto, I don't think." "Keep it," said Naruto with a stern glare which made Yakumo flinched and nodded before noticed bloodstains on the scroll. "Where did you get this?" asked Yakumo to Naruto. "From someone else." 3 days had passed and Team 12 currently are heading to the tower. They encountered Kusanin, Aim-nin and Odo-nin, and they also met Team 10 throughout those days. Right now, as they were traveling to their destination, suddenly they noticed Chunin cornering Team 7. At first Naruto decided to ignore them, but when he sensed the same killer intent that Yujito had produced, he instructed his team to follow him, which they did. For Team 7, they were heavily injured and exhausted. They were cornered by the Suna team, with a red-haired boy want to kill Nawaki so bad for no reason. Right now, the smiling Gaara raised his arm that morphed into sand type of monster's arm and immediately brought it down to slam Nawaki, but Naruto saved him. "You, how dare you stop me from killing him? You'll pay for that," screamed Gaara to Naruto, who charged at him. As Gaara running at him, suddenly he saw a figure wearing kimono with long spiky wavy hair that tied into ponytail and familiar flame mark-like tattoo on his face, wielding a katana that made him flinched and afraid. "Why you're him?" Everyone was confused at what they heard and stared at the stoic Naruto, who's glaring hardly at Gaara. Both Kankuro and Temari felt uneasy as their instinct screaming at them to run as far as they could from Naruto. "Kankuro, let's run," said the terrifying Temari to Kankuro, who nodded and carried Gaara before they vanished in sand. "Let's go," said Naruto to his team. As Team 12 prepared to leave Team 7, Nawaki immediately got on his feet and grabbed Naruto's arm, making the apprentice of Senju Tobirama turn around. "I don't need you to save me." Naruto didn't say anything and instead walked away, resulting Nawaki to grit his teeth and prepare to punch him, but Naruto avoided it without turning his head and kicked Nawaki to the tree. "Enough. I'm tired with your arrogant attitude. With this type of attitude, you can cause your comrades to die." Nawaki screamed in anger, "You know why I am like this? I hate you. I am ashamed to admit you are my brother." "I don't care," said Naruto without any emotion to Nawaki, who became more angry. "Just admit that you're jealous of us because Kachan and Tusan love us more than you. Just admit that you're jealous of us because they celebrate our birthday every year. Just admit that you're jealous of us because they spend most of their time with us instead of you. Just." Naruto interrupted by saying, "They're not my parents." Nawaki stunned what he heard while Mito and Natsumi gasped as Konoha squad arrived at the scene. Naruto then continued. "I don't give a damn shit about you and your family. Jealous. In my dreams. The truth is that I hate all of you and your family than the rest of the people in Konoha, except for those who treat me nicely. I hate you and your family for everything, and I will never forgive all of you even if I die. Remember this, pathetic boy, we share blood, but we are not a family." Natsumi asked, "Does that mean I disown all of you as my family? The thought of reconcile with you and look at all of you as a family makes me sick and want to vomit," said Naruto without any emotion to the Namikaze siblings. He then turned around and walked away as he said, "To the rest of you that try to fix back, stop. It is useless. It's too late." "Then why did you save him?" screamed Mito to Naruto, who stopped walking and said. "Because I don't want your mother to bug me and cry like a bitch when her eldest son die." "How dare you call your own mother a bitch?" screamed Nawaki to Naruto. "She is not my mother. She is your mother. Tell her that I will never forgive your family, no matter how many times they try to earn my forgiveness. Mark my word, if any of you become my opponent for the next phase. No mercy." Everyone watched Naruto Shushin followed up by Satsuki and Yakumo, leaving them, especially Namikaze siblings, to look at each other with mixed reaction. "P.S. I'll remake Naruto King of Kings. Sorry, it is really bad. The new version will be known as Naruto, the Alpha and Omega." The similarities between the stories are Tobirama is alive and cares a lot of Naruto, Shisui died in Naruto's arms on his 8th birthday. His family abandoned him. He is part of Team 12 that included Yakumo and Satsuki, and their sensei is Obito, who never trapped by the boulder, which means he has no his scar, but his Sharingan is given to Kakashi, which will be explained. Naruto is the chosen child final king. Naruto has the power of the royal kings. Main antagonist is Izumi. Pairing is Kagami Mizuki. No, fuck Shion, Koyuki and any canon characters. Konoha's mortuary. Where did you get this corpse? Not me, but Itachi did. Minato glanced at Tsunade before looked at the corpse of Kabuto that missing his jaw, an arm, legs and several organs. According to Tsunade, Itachi and his Anbu squad found Kabuto's corpse 5 minutes away from the entrance of Forest of Death. She also was informed by Itachi that he saw several scratch marks that seems to be caused by wild animal. There are also massive craters with boiling lava and several burnt skeletons that belongs to Kabuto's teammates. Kabuto, huh? Orochimaru's former assistant that betrayed him by framing him for experimenting against dozens of children and adults to replicate the power of Shade with the help of Haruko. How can he slip through Konoha's security is unknown to me, but this shows that I need to improve the security level," said Minato to Tsunade. He then continued, "What I'm going to tell you is that something that only Nidame-sama, Sandame-sama and the council know about it." Tsunade looked at the serious Minato and nodded her head. The yellow flash took a deep breath and said, "I believe a war is coming." Tsunade gasped and looked at Minato. A war is coming. Naruto left a message to Ibiki that Suna and Kumo sent their Jinchuriki for participating the Chunin exams. At first I'm quite suspicious about them due to our relationship with them after the previous war, but when you called me here to see Kabuto's corpse. I can't deny that our enemies is going to destroy this village during the exam. Enemies? Minato nodded. Kumo, Iwa, Hashi, Aim, even the new village that known as Odo, might be our enemy, even Suna too. Tsunade replied, but Suna has been our ally since the previous war. I know, but there's a high chance that Suna will be our enemy. Do you know that the Wind Daemon started outsourcing mission previously given to Suna to Konoha instead? Said Minato to Tsunade. This is the reason why I believe Suna will be our enemy. Our allies? Thanks to Obito, Kiri and Yami are still our allies. Replied Minato to Tsunade. Tsunade asked, your son told Ibiki that Suna and Kumo sent their Jinchuriki. How did he knew they are the Jinchuriki? I'm not sure, but for now, I have no choice but to continue the exam since I don't want them to know that I know they're planning to attack us. Without heaven. Yakumo raised her eyebrow and looked at the message on the notice board before took out the heaven scroll. Satsuki took the scroll and looked at it. Maybe the message tell us to open it. Said Satsuki, which she did, causing smoke to come out, and immediately Naruto stood in front of them with his fighting stance. Once the smoke is gone, they were relieved to see Iruka, their academy instructor, who's staring at them proudly. Good to see all of you. Greeted Iruka happily to his once academy students. Iruka-sensei. What are you doing it here? Asked Satsuki to Iruka. I'm here to congratulate those who passed the second phase of the exam. Replied Iruka. Yakumo asked, does that means? Congratulations. All of you passed the second phase of the exam. Now, once you enter the tower, you will meet your sensei who will inform you the next phase, the elimination phase. Jana. Iruka then disappeared in a burst of smoke. Naruto and his team then entered the tower and saw Obito talking to Kakashi and Rin with other Chunin. The elder Uchiha then noticed his students and waved at them happily, which only Yakumo replied by waving at him while Satsuki only smirked and Naruto just Naruto. How's the survival phase? Is it hard for you? Asked Obito to his team. Well, can't say anything since we were ambushed by Kumo team. Naruto managed to rescue us though. Said Satsuki with embarrassed tone as the memory of her getting beat out of the shit by Yujito haunts her. Really, Naruto? That's good. I was ambushed by Iwa and Kumo with one of the Kumo as a Jinchuriki. Every Chunin immediately shifted their attention to Naruto when they heard the word of Jinchuriki. Satsuki and Yakumo were confused and looked at Naruto. Satsuki, Yakumo, head to the arena now. Said Obito with a stern voice to his students, which they reluctantly did. Explain. We were running and suddenly I was kicked away. I then engaged Iwa Nin, the Tsuchikage's granddaughter, with her team, and Kumo Nin, the Jinchuriki, and her team. Replied Naruto. Mikaxzz asked, are you sure that Kumo Nin is a Jinchuriki? Naruto nodded, yes, she even used her Bijik's power to fight me. Rin said, and you survived, that's unbelievable. Believe it or not, she's the Jinchuriki of Nibi. I also face against the Jinchuriki of Suna. Replied Naruto to Rin. Kurenai then asked, but how did you know they are Jinchuriki? Kabuto slipped it out when he informed us that they have a beast. Asuma asked, Kabuto? Orochimaru-sama's former assistant that betrayed him. The one and only, but you don't have to worry about him. Said Naruto as he heading towards the arena. Because I killed him. They then watched the apprentice of Senju Tobirama walking to the arena as he said, a war is coming. Konoha's arena. Welcome and congratulations to all of those of you who passed the survival test, and I'm sorry for your loss. Said Minato as he glanced at Team Kuretsuchi and Kiri team. He then continued, now, since there are too many of you passed the test, I've no choice but to reduce the numbers for the final phase of the exams. The cough from a sick pail of Takebetsu Chunin caused Minato to look at him and nodded his head, whispering don't push himself, which he laughed at it. Excuse me for my interruption, my name is Jekmhaid. I'm your proctor for the third phase, the elimination. There are 34 of you who passed the test, so we have no choice but to eliminate it. Now, if there's any of you don't want to participate, raise your hand. After 5 minutes of no participators raising their hands, Haid instructed them to see a monitor board on the wall. In 2 seconds, they saw the name of Hyuga Hinata and Hyuga Niji. Everyone except Hinata and Niji please leave the arena. Said Haid to everyone who did what he asked. Then he turned his attention to the 2 Hyuga. The rule is simple, no killing. If I deem it is too extreme, then I'll stop it. If your opponent is knock out or give up, then you're the winner. Understand? Yes, Proctor. Said Niji as he took the gentle fist fighting stance. Understood. Replied Hinata, who did the same thing. Now fight. Niji smirked and said, why don't you give up? It's worthless to try to defeat me. We both knows who is the loser between us. Hinata replied, give up. In your dreams Niji, and treat me with full respect because I'm going to make you submit to me. The memory of her younger self meeting the young Naruto made her angry as she dashed forward and attacked Niji's vital points, which Niji parried every attack, but she's slowly getting faster. She's fast. This is impossible. When we were kids, I always embarrass her in front of her father. Thought Niji before he received a kick that sent him flying away. Damn you. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eyes. Said Hinata with an arrogant face. She then had a minor flashback of meeting a certain blonde. See, can I be your friend? No. But why? Your shyness cringed me a lot and I hate it. I rather befriend with a rat than you. Hinata clenched her fist tightly and dodged Niji's kick before jumped away. The two of them charged at each other as they screamed. Haki Sanjkni SHM. 2 strikes. 4 strikes. 8 strikes. 16 strikes. 32 strikes. Their jutsu cancel each other, causing them to jump away to think a better idea to knock out their opponent. At the spectator's seat, Kiba and Shino watched Hinata with awe. Kiba then looked at Kurenai and asked, "Sensei, did you give her a special training or something? She never acted like this before. She always been silent and observing." Kurenai replied, "After being embarrassed by Niji and her sister, Hanabi, she came to me to make me break her shyness so that she can be a true kunoichi. I did what she asked for and even sent her to my friend, Anko." "That's a risky but good move, Kurenai," said Asuma as he inhaled his cigarette. "It is a good reward, but from what I know since that day, she became to hate someone," said Kurenai to everyone who puzzled about what they heard. Back to the fight, Niji decided to trick Hinata by avoiding his jab, but she saw through the trick and instead of avoiding, she blocked it and struck Niji's face with the back of her fist. Haki Kekishima. Hinata extended both of her hands and sent a powerful compressive chakra from her palms at Niji, knocking him off his feet. She then rushed at him and tried to attack him, but forced to jump away when he performed Hakishim Katen. She threw several kunai at Niji, which again he performed the Hakishim Katen, deflecting those kunai. He's not a really prodigy. Performing that jutsu over and over drains your chakra a lot. Thought Hinata as she kept throwing shuriken and kunai at Niji, but he kept protecting himself. "Yo Hinata. Stop doing those. Are you idiot?" Screamed Kiba at Hinata. "Shut up, dog breath." Screamed back Hinata to Kiba, which made everyone except Naruto laughed, while Kiba felt terribly embarrassed. Niji chuckled and said, "You should stop," just like he asked. Hinata didn't said anything and kept throwing her shuriken and kunai, and when she saw Niji exhausted, she quickly rushed at him and struck his tenketsu before broke his kneecap and ribs with her punch and prepared to strike his throat with her finger, but Kurenai, Hei, Kakashi and Asuma stopped her. "Enough, that's too far," said Hei to Hinata, who scoffed at him. "Surrender, peasant," said Hinata with icy tone to Niji, who refused, causing her to knock him out with a powerful kick to his face. Winner by knockout, Hyuga Hinata. Everyone then watched Niji being carried to the infirmary while Hinata went to her team as the name of the participants appeared on the board. Namikaze Uzumaki Mito vs Uchiha Satsuki. "Kick her ass, Mito. Beat the shit out of her, Mito ni." Mito smiled at her siblings and walked down to arena and stopped in front of Satsuki. The two of them exchanging an angry glare before their attention shifted to Hade. "You know the rules. Begin." Heitan, Gakukik no Jutsu. Suiton, Tepndama. The giant fireball and the jet water cancelled each other as the two shinobi jumped at each other and threw shuriken. At first Mito able to deflect Satsuki's shuriken, but due to Satsuki's shuriken jutsu is really good thanks to Itachi, she received several deep cuts from the shuriken. The wounds however were healed thanks to the Kyubi. Mito then smirked and quickly charged at Satsuki and engaged in a fierce taijutsu match. Mito performed a low sweep kick to make Satsuki fall, but failed when she jumped to avoid it. The Uchiha then performed a somersault Mito, which she barely avoided it before jumped away to have some space. The Uzumaki then threw 3 kunai at the Uchiha, which the latter deflected with her own kunai, but one of Moto's kunai released a thick smoke, forcing Satsuki to activate her Sharingan to track her movement. Luckily it just a normal smoke. Not some kind of chakra-enhanced smoke or something like that. "Fool, I can see you clearly." Satsuki saw Mito came at her and avoided a roundhouse kick. The Uchiha then punched Mito's abdomen and planted a kick to her chin. Satsuki then repeatedly punching Mito and knocked her away, sending her crashing into the wall of arena. "It's over. You're weaker than I thought," said Satsuki before she walked away and looked at the proctor. "What are you waiting for? Winner is." Pei-8 was interrupted when he and everyone felt a surge of evil chakra from Mito. Before Minato could react, Mito already stood in front of Satsuki with a menacing glare and demonic red aura surrounding her body. "Shit," whispered Satsuki before she received a powerful punch by Mito that caused her to fly away. The Mito that possessed by Kyubi then tried to end Satsuki's life by jamming a kunai to her skull, But Naruto saved her by kicking Mito so hard that she knocked out and freed from Kyubi's influence. Betting little slower in your golden age, Hokage-sama. Mocked Naruto to Minato as he went back to spectators area. Hokage-sama, who's the winner? Asked the confused Hei to Minato since Naruto interfered by saving Satsuki from Mito, who was about to kill her. Satsuki is the winner. Said Minato as he went to his unconscious daughter and picked her up before it disappeared via Shushin. Winner, Uchiha Satsuki. The Konoha cheered as Satsuki walked to them and smiled before stared at Naruto and said, thanks again, Naruto. Naruto only nodded his head and watched the monitor board. Garami Yakumo vs Hayami Nissa. Make me proud, Yakumo-chan. Said Obito to Yakumo who nodded and high-fived Satsuki while looked at Naruto. Good luck. Said Naruto to Yakumo who grinned madly and rushed to the arena. She then gazed at her opponent, a Hashinin with short wavy grayish-white hair and gray eyes. Nissa wears black tube top, matching tight leather pants with gray buckle belt and a pair of lace-up boots. She also wears fingerless gloves with metal plates, pouches on her hips that clip via the belt and a kunai storage on her right hip. Ready everyone? Hajime. Both combatants charged at each other. Yakumo delivered a fast jab that Nissa avoided effortlessly and struck her face with her knee, temporarily stunning her before knocked her away with a powerful spinning kick. Yakumo gritted her teeth and wiped away the blood on the corner of her lips as Nissa mocked her by saying, sting doesn't it? Ninjutsu, Shibari. Nissa made a mistake when she stared directly at Yakumo's eyes, causing her unable to move, feeling chains wrapping around her body and limbs tightly. Beat this. Yakumo ran at Nissa and struck her chin with her knee as hard as she could before punched her onto the ground. When Nissa rose up, Yakumo performed Meijin, Narakumi no Jutsu. At the spectators' seats, Naruto figured out Nissa's weakness. He crossed his arms and believed that Yakumo has a chance to win if she continue fight her opponent in Jinjutsu. As for Nissa who just witnessed her greatest fear, she decided to just end this fight even though she's mentally tired. When Yakumo ran at her with the attempt to trap her in another Jinjutsu, Nissa released a very bright light from her eyes, causing Yakumo to stun temporarily. This is the end for you. Screamed Nissa as her arms transformed into demonic-like and punched Yakumo several times as hard as she could. Nissa performed a low sweep kick and slammed down her heel to Yakumo's abdomen and jumped on her knees, breaking her kneecaps. The screaming Yakumo then was lifted to the air by her neck before she was punched in the stomach several times and knocked out with a powerful punch. Winner by knockout, Hayami Nissa. As the medic squad delivering the unconscious Yakumo to the hospital, everyone stared at the monitor board and saw the next opponent. Namikaze Uzumaki Nawaki vs Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Nawaki gasped and whispered, oh fuck. Tell me, why do you hate me so much? We used to play together and now look at us, staring at each other with so much anger and hatred. Said Naruto to Nawaki who stunned and had a flashback of both of them playing hide and seek. Nawaki was very surprised when Naruto asked him that kind of question. He then immediately remembered his family keep calling him Naruto 2.0 and always compares him to his elder brother. He clenched his fist tightly, that's right. He hate Naruto, no, he jealous of Naruto abuse his family used to praise Naruto. Nawaki wanted to tell it, but then he decided not to do so and instead told him that. I hate you because you're weak. An embarrassment to our family. Said Nawaki as he took the fighting stance that every Chunin recognized, the Uzumaki dark steel style. And today is the day that I've been waiting for a long time. The day I'm going to show you that you're beneath me. Naruto didn't say anything and instead he took the Senju defensive style, surprising everyone. He then took a deep breath and changed to Senju offensive style, making Nawaki smirked as he recognized that stance and knew how to counterattack it. Witnessing the two brothers taking their own fighting stance, Heiate started the match with a shout of Hajime. Nawaki released a battle cry as he dashed towards Naruto and delivered a jab that aiming his chin to stun him, however, at the last moment, Naruto switched back to Senju defensive style and caught his wrist before punched him away. The punch caused Nawaki to fly away and crash into the wall of the arena behind him, shocking everyone completely especially Heiate. Nawaki recovered from the punch and looked at Naruto with a horror face. How did he do that punch almost as hard as Tsunade Bachan's punch? Thought Nawaki before his instinct screamed at him to dodge which he did, avoiding Naruto's kick that aiming for his head. Gah. I have to pay attention. Haju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Summoning hundreds of clones, Nawaki ordered them to charge at Naruto who destroyed all of them with Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The rest of the clones surrounded Naruto who knew that he need to end this match as soon as possible. So he decided to test his new invented jutsu. Raiden, Shiden. Naruto slammed both of his palms onto the ground and released bolts of purple lightning all around his body, destroying the clones in a second. I've never seen that jutsu before. Said Kakashi with a surprised face, much to Obito's amusement. Of course you never. He invented that jutsu. replied Obito proudly to the Haddock, who surprised at what he heard. However, if you are truly my friend, don't you ever dare to copy it. Back to the fight, after destroying the clones with his new invented jutsu, Naruto dashed towards Nawaki and delivered an unseen right hook, followed by a knee strike to his face, before a spinning roundhouse kick that knocked him to the ground. Not wanting to give him another chance to summon clones, Naruto pinned Nawaki to the ground and brutally smashing his face. He grabbed Nawaki by his hair and spun him around before threw him to the arena's wall. Suiton, Tepndama. Naruto shot a pressurized jet water at Nawaki and then Shushin right in front of him, smashing his face one more time, which knocked off several of his teeth. The punch also brought Nawaki down to his knees as he covering his mouth with his palm. Did you see now? Who's kneeling now? Asked Naruto to the kneeling Nawaki before kicked him in the face when Nawaki tried to run away. Oh no, you're not going to run away. The kneeling Nawaki glared at Naruto with so much anger that if a gaze capable of killing someone, then Naruto would be dead by now due to Nawaki's glare. His anger towards Naruto awakened the sleeping beast within him. Realizing that he could use the child's anger to manipulate him to free himself, the beast communicated with Nawaki for the first time. Use my power to kill your brother. At that moment, Nawaki felt a great power within himself. His injuries were healed less than a second as he surrounded by crimson flame-like aura, while his hair became more spikier, nails more longer, teeth more sharper and have red eyes. Die. Screamed Nawaki in a deep voice to Naruto as he tried to slash Naruto's neck, but the elder Mikaxzz managed to avoid it and jumped away from him. Don't you dare running away from me. I'm not running away. Said Naruto as he threw a smoke bomb. And as far as you concerned, this battle is end when you use that cute fox power. Nawaki looked around and tried to hit Naruto with his single chakra tail. He felt Naruto standing right behind him and quickly slashed him with his nails, but he missed. Naruto, who's observing Nawaki, thought to himself that the more angry he is, the more dangerous he became, and that slash, if I late 1 second, I will lose my left eye. Nawaki became more frustrated, allowing Kyubi to slowly possessing him. His frustration led him to release a powerful scream that alerted everyone including Minato. The scream also blew the smoke off, revealing Naruto's location. Nawaki, who saw his brother, smirked sadistically and prepared to end his life, but dozens of Naruto's clones burst out from the ground and jumped onto Nawaki, much to his horror. When Minato with Kushina and the legendary Sannin arrived, they witnessed Naruto trapping Nawaki and his clones inside a prison of water. Kushina, who realized what is going to happen, screamed no and tried to save Nawaki, but it was too late. For Nawaki to suffer an explosive chain inside the prison which knocked him out and freed him from Kyubi. Kushina rushed to Nawaki and horrified that his son have terrible burn marks across his body. It's a shame that you're not here to witness your lovely son humiliated by me. Said Naruto as he walked away while Hayate pronounced Naruto as the winner of the match, much to his team's happiness. Walking to his team, Naruto was praised by Obito for defeating Jinchuriki once again, while Satsuki told him that his Raiten, Shiden is cool and want to learn about it, which Naruto replied he will taught her one day. From here, I'm going to skip the rest of the battle and only wrote the outcome. 5th battle, Ino vs Sakura, draw. 6th battle, Sasuke vs Kiba, draw. 7th battle, Gaara vs Lee, Gaara won by breaking Lee's leg and nearly killed him. 8th battle, Temari vs Tenten, seriously. Obviously Temari won thanks to her huge ass fan. 9th battle, Shiro of Iwa vs Amoy, draw. 10th battle, Shikamaru vs Mai of Kiri, Shikamaru won thanks to his 300 IQ. 11th battle, Choji vs Murakumo Zangetsu of Hashi, Zangetsu won by knocking out Choji after insulting his body. 12th battle, Sai vs Kankuro, draw. 13th battle, Yujito vs Shimchikuro, Yujito won after knocking out Shimchikuro with his own Hiramekure. 14th battle, Kuritsuchi vs Kari, Kuritsuchi won thanks to her Taijutsu. 15th battle, Mikhail vs Akatsuchi, Mikhail won via his speed. 16th battle, Natsumi vs Razi, Natsumi barely won. 17th battle, Mirai vs Tetsuko of Hashi, Mirai won. Hayate then spoke, to those of you who won, please gather around me. The participants did what Hayate asked as he was about to say something, but Yujito raised her hand and said. Proctor, I surrender. The sudden decision of Yujito caused everyone to whisper, while Naruto stared at Yujito with a suspicious face. He crossed his arms and watched Yujito left the arena before focused at Hayate. Now, pay your attention to the monitor board. First match, Hyuga Hinata vs Uchiha Satsuki. Second match, Hayami Nisa vs Kagami Mirai. Third match, Mikhail vs Murakumo Zangetsu. Fourth, Nara Shikamaru vs Temari. Fifth, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto vs Kuritsuchi. Sixth, Namikaze Uzumaki Natsumi vs Gaara. Then, Minato appeared with a proud face and announced. Now, you won't fight your opponent right now or tomorrow or next week, but instead you will be given 1 month to train, reaching and breaking your limit. Your cage, the 7-day mom and important figures will come to Konoha to witness your match. So make sure during that 1 month, all of you train very hard to defeat your opponent and make proud of your cage. I wish all of you the best. Dismiss. The month huh? Naruto looked at Tobirama and drank his tea before nodded his head while Tobirama placed a bowl of ramen with chicken katsu. I need you to help me push my limit. 2 shinobi are targeting me. Iwa and Yami. Replied Naruto to Tobirama. Tobirama chuckled, push your limit. Do you even have a limit? Have any idea why they are targeting you? Well, I don't need to tell you why Iwa-nin is targeting me. Tobirama added, Namikaze. Naruto nodded and continued, as for Yami-nin, apparently her sister who is the Yandere Mikaxzz spoke highly about me. Spoke highly? Have you met her? Asked Tobirama with a sudden change of expression to Naruto who arched his eyebrow. Well, Nidame, Sandame and Yandere Mikaxzz are related. Nidame Mikaxzz, Kagami Misaki, the mother and grandmother to Sandame and Yandere respectively. Sounds like you have something with her. Said Naruto sarcastically Tobirama who smacked his head. Misaki is the one who healed my injuries that I received from fighting against Kinkaku Force. If not because of her godly Iram ninjutsu, I already dead by now. Said Tobirama with a smile, reminiscing about Misaki. She must be a really great shinobi. Said Naruto to Tobirama which he agreed. She was one of the best shinobi in the history of shinobi. Naruto decided to ask, what happened to her? She sacrificed herself to save her daughter by fighting against 2,000 Hashinin. Said Tobirama with a frown and sad tone. I was too late. When I heard the news from one of her personal Anbu, I hurried to her side and found out that she's dying on the ground after fighting the enemies for 1 day without resting. Naruto decided to not ask any more question, seeing a single tear fell from Tobirama's eye. He then changed the topic by asking him. Well, I was hoping that you could help me to perfect the Hurricane. Well, at least allow me to teleport in a short distance. Wiping away the tear, Tobirama replied, it will take at least a year for you to achieve that. A year? Last time when you told me that it will take years for me to master Senju fighting style, I mastered both of them less than a week. Said Naruto with a smirk. Tobirama smiled like a proud father and said, we will begin the training tonight. Hotel. Did you do it? I did. Good, I received a letter from Raikage that he wants you to assassinate the granddaughter of Iwa and framed one of Kiroi Senku's children. As you wish, Samui-sensei. Is that all my task? Samui looked at the kneeling Yujito and said, there's one more thing, I want you to bring Namikaze's eldest son alive to Raikage-sama. Your father is planning to use Namikaze's son and wife as a breeding machine to have an army of Uzumaki that loyal to Kumo. Yujito nodded and dismissed by Samui. Night later. Mind if I join you? Mikhail turned around and saw Mirai wearing white sport bra with black shorts that stopped above her knees. It's cold tonight and look at you. Mikhail received a punch to his abdomen by Mirai after peeking to her chest. Stop staring at my boobs. The recovered Mikhail chuckled and looked at the moon with a sad expression that made Mirai worried as she grabbed his hand and squeezed it. I'm going to meet her huh? Yes. Do you think she still hates me? I have no right to answer it. Said Mirai to Mikhail. But promise me that if you saw her, stay beside me okay? Mikhail asked, and if we fight? We fight and no holding back. Said Mirai to Mikhail who surprised and a bit afraid since he knew how strong is Mirai. She then continued, because I want you to make your mother realize her mistake that her son is not weak and throwing him away and trying to kill him when he was just a child is a big mistake. Konoha's graveyard. The end is near. Izumi stared at the picture of the smiling Shisui with a sadistic smirk. You can't forever hide your other eye. I will find it and use it to make every Bijik submit to me so that the Mugen Tsukiyomi will be casted. And that is going to be happen very soon. Izumi left the place, but not before spitting at Shisui's graveyard and said. I am looking forward to meet you, Naruto. What if Naruto hates his family for abandoning him, and thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part comment down and thanks for watching the video and see you guys next video.